Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 853, powered by NZXT. I had to spray this Japanese cooling mist because this podcast is already way too hot. I'm your host, Jam Choa, the coolest man in games media, co-captain of the ship. Joining me, as always, Jeff Grubb.
I am fully lathered in Japanese menthol. It's the only way to podcast.
The bad menthol of games media, games meets own, Mike Menthol Minotti.
Save Muppet Vision. Don't let them take it away. They're going to have to rip me off that Miss Piggy statue. I'm going to be chained to it. They're going to have to bulldoze through me before they take down that theater. Save Muppet Vision.
So brave. So brave.
Reporting live from Southern California, our Disney correspondent, bringing us the latest and greatest in all things Disney-related. Bailey Myers, everyone.
Hello.
Bailey, show me that duck's butt.
It's right here.
Look at that duck's butt.
That's so good.
Audio listener, she's wearing a Donald Duck hat that has a butt.
Yeah, it's got the whole body.
That's the whole thing.
He's got like it's like, I described it earlier as a vestigial tail. That's what it feels like.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The hat has evolved beyond the need for a body.
I think the hat would have been fine without the little body.
No, yeah, exactly. It would have been fine. Now it's great.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. It did make packing it very awkward. I'm like, do I put the body into the hat?
Jan got it for me as a souvenir from Tokyo Disney. He was like, "What characters do you like?" And I was like, "The duck."
I can look at him. Look at him. Oh, you're waiting to ask what you got, right, Mike?
Look. I hate that about us so much.
I'm just like, oh, this is fun. I can't wait for him to do the thing.
Damn it. I hate you so much.
Are you going to take my joy from me because you did not get any of your own? That's so selfish.
I didn't actually ask.
Yeah, but I saw your face. I knew.
I just want to make sure that I have something coming.
Yeah, you got to get yours.
Yes, you got a lot of souvenirs at Kennywood. Was that not plenty?
Yeah, no, that was Kennywood, but yours has a butt.
Mine does have a butt.
I think anything at Kennywood that has a butt.
They had to have stuff there that had butts. They inexplicably had extremely different merch every single store we went to.
Yeah, it's weird. The regional parks are bad about the merch sometimes. They don't have like the one big convenience shop right at the entrance. Like, Disney's great because it's like a giant store, almost too big, and they keep it open like 2 hours after the park closes.
Yeah, so
because they know you
want
to buy things.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel quite dumb not getting Mike something from Tokyo Disney, but I did get you something from the Nintendo store in Japan.
Oh, that's good.
But you can only get there.
Okay.
So don't worry, Mikey. I'm not gonna.
Surprise!
Whoa, okay. I'm sorry.
I got the crew. Everyone on the crew. Nikki, Sean. I still need your addresses because I just want to mail them all at once and figure out how mailing works. I'm like that one tweet going around. Little hand towels because it gets mighty muggy in Japan. So you got to wipe the brow. Maybe perhaps you go to a public restroom. There's no paper towels. You don't want to stick your hand in the hand dryers, so you dap them off.
You dry yourself with Luigi now in towel form.
Yeah. Maybe perhaps a Pikmin.
Ooh.
They were also very adamant, like, we don't have Zelda towels here. We don't carry that.
How dare you?
Like, why would you wipe that on Princess Zelda?
She's a princess. She's royalty.
She's above it.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Existential threat about theme parks. I'm mostly excited about all the stuff they announced, but like the one thing I like is maybe going away, so I get scared.
But give us the short version. What happened at D23 that like as someone who's going like later this year? Actually, I can't remember. Steph's doing all the planning.
Okay.
Who's going soonish? What should I be excited about?
Give me the D23 and me.
All right, the big stuff announced. Most of it's Disney World. At Animal Kingdom, the dinosaur area is going away for an Indiana Jones ride.
Ooh.
I like Indiana Jones. I'm going to miss dinosaurs, but I like Indiana Jones. And an Encanto ride, which seems cool. So, like, that whole land's going to be kind of a tropical Americas themed. Frontierland and Magic Kingdom, they're taking Tom Sawyer Island and that river, like our rivers of America with the boat. getting rid of that. I'm sad about losing the boats, but they're going to put in a different kind of Cars Land there with a rally racing themed attraction, Jeff. Rally racing.
Okay, all right.
So
Now
like that Cars ride we did, but specifically like Sega Rally.
That
so
sounds
like,
awesome.
If people are also upset about losing that, I get it. I'm gonna miss the boat. That one I can let go a little bit, and then later in Frontierland, a villains land. Everyone's very excited about that. Like specifically a land for villains.
Oh.
So that's it. Now they also announced a Monsters Inc. land for Hollywood Studios. The big thing here is that we're finally going to get like a coaster based off the door sequence from that film. Right,
It'll be suspended like the Raptor at Cedar Point, right?
Yes, and it's been
the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta hold on.
We just have that reskin of Superstar Limo right now as our only monsters. No, that's not true. We also have Mike and Sully's Laugh Factory.
Yeah, don't get too attached to those because
what?
Well, so I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so this Monsters Inc. land, it looks very
Minotti, just Mike Wazowski, and Grubb is just Sully.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes. Huh.
I have a huge Mike Wazowski energy from the first movie when he's a schlub, not in the weird prequel where he's suddenly like a very like go-getter, like big like like A+ student or whatever. The retconning.
Cut off in photos a lot.
I do. You're right. But yeah, so the Monsters Inc. land looks cool. Everyone's just really concerned about where it's going, and they won't say where it's going. And it's going to report it's because they're heavily considering putting it where the Muppet stuff is, even though there's a part of the land called Animation Courtyard right now that's nothing. It'd be way better to put it there, but it'd be cheaper to put it where the Muppets are because there's already like a restaurant there, and it already kind of looks like a city. So everyone's freaking out right now. We're gonna see what's happening.
We're gonna get through this.
Yeah, California Adventure, Bailey, in Disneyland.
I also live in California, Mike. What the hell?
Bailey, anyways, in California.
Yeah, tell me about the stuff that's only relevant to me.
So they're going to put an Avatar land in California Adventure, and it's not going to be a clone of ours. It's going to be specifically Way of Water themed.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm very excited. But we don't know, but this might be going where the Hollywood area is. So, Mike and Sully and some other things.
That's fine, actually, because it is always funny for me when I go, because I used to live literally like in Hollywood, and then I'd go to Hollywood Land and be like, look, there's Cahuenga, but I don't need to drive an hour to do that. I can do that now. I can drive an hour to visit Cahuenga now, the real one, not the one that's at 2/3 scale. So this seems good to me, actually. Can they give me a pod to touch? I really want to touch the pod so I can better connect to AWA.
Well, you'll have to have a pod because there's an in-universe reason for the pod. It what allows us to breathe on Pandora because it creates oxygen.
Right.
Hezo.
Coco's getting a ride in California Adventure also.
Oh,
Thank
cool.
you, Mike.
Okay. I'm into that.
Short version. There's more stuff happening. There you go. Short version.
Interesting.
We don't know where it's going.
Probably, can I take a guess? Bye Bye Goofy Sky School?
I thought maybe somewhere like over by Grizzly River Run. Maybe it can make sense.
I don't know.
I wouldn't mind if they got rid of Grizzly River Run due to the inherent danger of all raft rides.
I know. I don't know why I started this. I'm so
sorry. You asked.
I did ask. I have no one to
you
blame but myself.
You literally said, what did you learn at D23?
I do distinctly remember starting that sentence with the short version.
This is the short version.
A 3-hour presentation.
He's
and they
condensing
talked about
it really
Fortnite
nicely.
Skins for 30 minutes at one point.
All right, well, I'm glad you didn't do that.
That was the short version. Save Muppet Vision, everybody.
Save
They're
Muppet
gonna
Vision.
take it.
Yeah, that's right, everyone. I need you to reach out.
nations.
We can only save Muppet Vision if we all touch the pod at once. All right?
There you go, touch the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
called a
reach out.
plan to save all attractions, but mostly Muppet Vision.
That's very good.
Exactly. Wow.
Bailey got that one.
I did.
We're all going to touch the pod on 3. All right. Reach out to your phones, however you're watching this, and then we'll all tap into AWA at once. All right. 3, 2.
I see you.
Sabaho!
Savaho.
All right, bro. Anything else popping off? Y'all get into anything else?
I'm mostly just like starting to feel a little bit of regret that I didn't do much with my summer. I mean, I did go up to Michigan. We had that little vacation, but summer's kind of like ending here pretty soon. Like the kids are going back to school. Like that is where the mind frame is at for me. So so that's like kind of all I'm thinking about. So like if we wanted to do something, we'd have to do it now, and I'm busy and I can't do much. So I'm like, I think we are going to make a point to go to the beach here in Cleveland.
Be fun.
That exactly. But like, just one
I didn't
last
know you guys
thing.
had a beach.
Yeah, we're right on Lake Erie. So yeah, North Coast. Yeah.
Pretty cool. I like that you were like, I don't want to talk about D23 anymore. I want to talk about existential sadness.
Yeah, listen,
let's
more
more in line
adults
with
here.
the Bombcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
That's our vibe.
Don't you
here.
know the two are inextricably linked?
We're slowly marching toward our death, and that's what this show is about.
Hey, dying.
That's D23 also. It's all
Okay,
relevant.
well, I didn't know that. My bad.
Muppets gonna live forever. You should
Muppets are going to live forever. They're felt. They can't die.
They can't
You
die.
couldn't kill them if you wanted
No.
to.
You could burn them, I guess, but we're not going to.
Jeff Grubb, I'm going to mandate as someone that has no power over you, because on whatever corporate ladder we are holding hands on the
we're
rungs
Holding
and
hands,
dangling.
From Dan Reichert's Hoka sneakers, yeah.
And we have Mike Minotti, Nikki, and Sean in our other hands collectively, as Jeff Bakalar is like just
Flapping his Icarus wings closer and closer to the sun, yeah.
just grimacing and looking at us like, you guys, come on.
I was like, I'm getting pretty close to the sun.
He wouldn't get too close to the sun. Let's be real. The pace,
Right, he hates
pacey
him.
skip.
Sorry, bad joke.
Sorry, I just got text from Dan saying hezo. I assume it came in late, but I assume he was not enjoying my D23 recap. Please continue, Jim.
But I'm going to tell you, Jeff Grubb, you're gonna have to take a vacation next summer. After Summer Game Fest, I'm not gonna let you work.
I'll take a real
2
one.
weeks.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe that could be our Japan trip, Mike. Maybe
There
we can
you
go to Disney
Don't
Sea.
go
then.
to Japan during the summer. Haven't you learned anything from me?
Oh, never mind. We're not going there. Yeah.
All right. All right. And then you're gonna take another 2 weeks, Jeff Grubb.
I do have I am going to Disney soonish, so that'll be a vacation here. That'll be like a week. So I'll take a 2-week vacation next summer. That sounds good.
You know,
Yeah.
like I like this idea of a dark week. You know.
Yeah.
What about we do that? What about we just I'll just stream nothing but the dog.
Okay, well, that would actually do way better than us. And then
That's really good content, Jan.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, bad.
What was that movie, that like the collection of westerns that the Coen brothers did? And there was that one story about like there was this really talented actor guy, but he didn't have arms or legs, and the guy that was taking care of him had like feed him and like really be responsible for him. And then he discovered like a chicken that could do math, and so he just
Fuck, are you talking
Was that the Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. So he left the talented actor guy and took the chicken that did math instead. And it's like, I'll just have this. This is cheaper. So what the moral of that story is, we can't have Scout replace us. I'm very worried about that.
Okay, that's where we were going with that. Okay. Fantastic.
Let's all go on an Alaskan cruise. It's not hot there.
I would like that quite a bit, actually.
That'd be fun. They have Disney cruises that go up that way. We can get there with Captain Mickey.
I know. Yes,
I know
we
you
can.
know. I was saying it for the benefit of the other two.
Yeah, we'll find out though.
I can finally take my friend up that moved to Alaska to go fish for salmon, and I haven't seen him since. I went to the underground mahjong den over the weekend. And I've returned.
With the grandma jongs.
You returned, but you seem changed.
I seem changed
for the worse.
For sleep deprivation. What the fuck, Mike? And I'm not gonna say that I went to the bank and asked for a bunch of singles to perhaps put on games, and only to find out, we're only doing friendly matches, and we're not doing anything for actual money today.
Boo.
And you have to play nice with all these other people because they're just learning how to play for the first time.
Oh,
and you want to
disgusting.
encourage and build a
It
community.
wasn't as dank as I was expecting.
Yeah, well, underground, it just isn't what it used to be.
It just seems like you're all just hanging out and having a good time together.
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that?
Where's the depravity?
Exactly. So what if if there was a person in a corner making smash burgers out of Spam, and other shit was going on, and someone was like, "Hey, bro, you look like you could use a Mai Tai," and I'm like, you know what? Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, am I going back to the underground mahjong den? Yes.
Hell yeah.
God.
Do you think you'll corrupt it and make it into a den of iniquity?
1,000%. Because of the first game that I have to talk about today.
Like Minatai.
Jesus Christ, dude. No.
Minatai.
That one's that. Oh, I hate that.
I'm going to go home.
Minatai. I hate it.
Okay. Yeah.
Just workshopping here, okay?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I have found the next Balatro.
Oh, no.
What?
You've been on the hunt for
God.
it, even though we've asked you to stop.
Yes. I have found this game. This was put onto my radar. It's called Dungeons and Degenerates Gamblers.
Oh,
Where
I know what word you got you into this one.
And so this is a card game where you are playing combative blackjack
Oh shit.
against in a campaign that is very much framed like a Slay the Spire-esque or like a branching paths, where you play blackjack and your opponent that you're playing against has certain hit points. And the difference in your hands, so say you draw 21, the AI draws 20, you subtract 2 points and deal 2 points of damage to the AI. Now, there are a bunch of variables that enter and go into play, like the AI. Sometimes your opponent has to stand at 13, so you can be a little bit spicy. You get a 14, but you're like, you know what? Homeboy's gonna stand here at 13. Let's try and get some more damage going. And then, if you bust out, you just do 0 damage, or you do 0 damage, and then your opponent does whatever the difference would be. So, if they're standing at 13, you bust out, they do 13 to you. I thought that's where the fun shenanigans would end. But there is also different mechanics for each of these suits. And so if you score a winning hand with any heart cards, you restore your health because of the hearts.
Right.
If you do stuff with like the diamond suit, you wind up increasing your chip count, and your chip count is used during battles. You can steal chips, lose chips, bet, and you use the chips to unlock more cards, because at the end of each battle, you similar to like a Slay the Spire, you have the option to choose cards as a prize, and at the end of each round, you can use your chips to unlock a bonus 5th option. And I thought, okay, cool. This is great. This is already a bunch of fun. And then I got a stamp card where, and I filled out my stamp card to 10. And then it turns out if you properly fill out your stamp card, and this gets thrown into your regular playing deck, it's just an automatic 21. So that's sick.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. And then I started getting more oddball cards. Like there is a Gerald of Riviera.
Hell yeah.
And
Oh God, hearing Jeff mispronounce Gerald's name like 20 times in a row on Game S Mornings yesterday, that was rough. Sorry, just had to say.
No, I'm pretty sure that's right, Gerald.
Sounds right to me.
That's how it's spelled. I mean, I don't know.
And there was a King of the Cosmos card from a Katamari and there was also a Queen chess piece card. So I'm just assuming this game is just full of a bunch of random miscellaneous bullshit. And somehow I found this game last night. I remote played into my computer at home as I was at the place I needed to be last night. And let me tell you, 6 hours flies by when you're just playing competitive blackjack.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
There you go.
And yeah. Oh, also, you know how in Slay the Spire, Monster Train, similar games, you can upgrade cards, and generally it'll be like, oh, you get a +1 or a -1.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
like in Balatro, if you upgrade a 10, it'll upgrade it to a Jack, right? It'll just go the next suit up.
Yeah.
I upgraded a 10 in this game in Dungeons and Degenerates Gamblers, and it just made it into an 11 instead of a Jack. So I am looking forward to all of the buffoonery that comes up.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
You have said so many words that are so intriguing to me. This sounds great. I love blackjack, and also all those other games you listed.
Oh, and the thing is, you are only dealing with your deck when you are pulling and dealing from the blackjack. So your opponent is dealing with their own separate deck. So it's
God, blackjack would be
completely
so much easier if you could do that at the casino.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I only have nothing but aces in this one.
Mhm.
And if you're bad at math like me, and you take a quick second, if not a minute, to add up your cards when you're playing proper blackjack, that it kills any momentum that you have. Don't worry, folks. It does all the math for you.
It looks really good. It looks.
It's very snappy. Auteno, which was the Mahjong Balatro game I was talking about last week, that seems super early in its development, so it doesn't quite feel all the way there. The Roulette Balatro that came out a couple weeks ago also didn't feel quite there, but Dungeons and Degenerates Gamblers, it feels like, well, it's already out, but it has that same snappiness that Balatro does right out the gate. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't recommend this.
It is incredible just how much aesthetically it looks like Balatro. So I mean, granted, of course, it's a card game, but still, it's has just that right amount of pixelation that we're clearly in an era of people specifically making games to be like Balatro. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, we have 10 of these, and this one seems to be one of the better ones. So yeah, it came out August 8th. It's well, how much was it? Well, it was like $15. But if you get it now, it's 10%
looks like it's on
off.
sale.
Yeah.
I must have this.
Yeah, I just added to my account. I will give this a shot.
Add to my account. Must be nice. I'll add to my wish list like an average Joe.
I mean, listen, you don't have to hate me. I mean,
I do though, but
I'm better.
It's the new gimmick. Yeah. Bailey, we needed a fourth because Dan is out in Europe today.
Okay. Well, thank you for considering me.
Of course. And I thought to myself when I saw you pop into the call, thank goodness you're here. And that works out because you've also been playing. Thank goodness you're here.
Yeah, I mean, in as much as you can have been playing, it's 3 hours long. But God, it's such a fun 3 hours. Boy, it's so silly.
Did you want it to last longer? Because I didn't. I was very happy with the length.
I thought it was a perfect amount of game.
Yes.
I was just really enjoying it. So I just like when experiences continue for me. But no, I think 3 hours is exactly right for that game.
What's your feelings towards humorous video games in general? Because I'm like, I don't find most games to be too funny. I've definitely laughed at some writing. I have a soft spot for stuff like Mario and Luigi because they're like, this is such good writing. But they're goobers. But I recognize that's not like, that wouldn't work as like a comedy film or something, that writing. This does feel like this could be on Cartoon Network right there with any of those other shows. I was really impressed. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that typically comedy and gaming can fall a little bit flat due to the fact that nobody in the gaming industry is funny.
It's a big problem.
It's a huge problem that we have. Like they had that awful Rick and Morty game that came out last year, and it's just like where the gun yelled at you.
Stabby
High on Life.
No fun.
High on Life.
High Life. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No fun. And there can be elements of comedy in games that work really well for sure, but typically games that are really focused on comedy as like the main element get very tiresome very quickly, which is why 3 hours is the perfect length for this one. But it did feel very like modern in its comedic stylings. I'm always glad to hear Matt Berry anywhere. The second he showed up, I was like, oh hell yeah, I'd recognize that weird pronunciation anywhere. It's so good. You're just a little guy. It's basically Untitled Goose Game, but everyone's excited to see you and not shooing you out of places, and that's great. And there's like a lot of sex stuff, which they didn't have in Untitled Goose Game.
No. Yeah, the big problem with Untitled Goose Game. Can't believe it won the Game Award or whatever it did. Yeah.
Not enough sex.
Too much in Little Kitty Big City, though. Ugh.
Well, right. Yeah. I do have to bring this up every time just to throw him under the bus. Dan Riker did not really see any of the sex jokes in there.
He's a pure boy.
Yeah.
What? There's how do you what?
Now in Dan's defense, Dan's trying to blame it more on his bad memory than like being obtuse and not understanding double entendres.
That's right. That's his defense. Yep.
Sorry, no. At one point, Matt Berry's character fucks a pumpkin, and then a baby comes out, and then he eats the baby.
Yep.
What did he think that was?
He did. He knew that was dark, but I don't know if I think it just was. I don't know if it was registering with them. I don't know.
Well,
He's an innocent, sweet boy.
Yes.
Maybe Dan just thought that's what they do across the pond.
Right. Exactly. You got to
That's just how
account for
pumpkins
being in the
work over
north of
there.
England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Instead of using air conditioning, they fuck pumpkins to cool off.
Eat the young. Yeah, that's what happens, right?
It's sort of like how pigs roll around in mud. It's the same
Uh-huh.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get all that
yeah.
pumpkin goo on you from, the
Gross.
rigorous pumpkin fucking.
It's genuinely like I had such a good time with it. Like I think everyone should play this game. It's 3 hours and it's not hard. It's just like a fun 3 hours where you just kind of vibe through it.
I have it installed. I'm kind of saving it for this Europe trip coming up. Like, I know at some point I'm going to like be sitting somewhere with nothing to do and, playing through something for 3 hours. Sounds lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a fun time.
Yeah. Did you stream it, Bailey? Did you try to like do
Yeah.
that?
I
Well, how
played it-
did that go? I was curious. I was like, this seems like a game that might be okay for streaming, but it's like all about experiencing it. So maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know. How'd you find
It
it?
was good. Everyone was experiencing it with me. We were
Right.
all sort of baffled by what was happening simultaneously, which is a fun vibe. We're all like, hey, what the hell was that with the pumpkin baby? We all sort of got to comfort each other in the grimness of that moment. It was
Mhm.
nice. I needed a little emotional support for it. And I got that emotional support. It was perfect. My stream community was lovely for it.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of game that like you can go and perform it, kind of similar to Untitled Goose Game again. So yeah. Interesting, cool. I really like that game. I don't. Not like super in love with it, but I'm really glad I didn't miss it. I think it's definitely worth playing, like you said.
And again, with 3 hours, I don't think you have to be in love with it. Like
Exactly.
that's the thing. If it's a 100-hour plus game, I better love that thing. But 3 hours, yeah, I'll just have like a nice time. I've spent 3 hours doing worse stuff.
Yep, exactly how I feel.
I saw Avatar 2, Way of Water.
What?
Wow.
Wait. What?
Wow.
Wow. What? What?
How?
My heart
Really?
is
You're
right
not
here.
You're not on
Just
Team
stab
Way
it
of
instead.
Water?
Wait. What? What?
Jesus,
You're on the wrong
Sorry,
podcast.
what did I say?
you massacred my
Bailey?
boy.
Who said that?
What?
Wow.
All the gifts I got you, put them back in the bag. They're Emma's now.
Sorry.
Wow. You didn't feel
What?
anything when the son taught the father how to breathe and it was like a full circle moment and the other son was fucking dead, Bailey. Dead.
I don't
and
remember
was
that.
sad.
At what point in the 3-hour runtime did that happen?
Wow.
And the best
about-
part.
What about when the lady in the mech suit drank a cup of coffee and then
Yeah,
the mech
God.
also drank a cup of coffee?
That was
Yeah.
pretty good. That was pretty good.
You remember that?
Edie
You
Falco
remember
could
that.
step on
remember
me in that
that.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, God, you think you know someone, right? Like,
We need to all see Fire and Ash together. And yes, all of us need to
Oh,
see
I'm
Avatar
gonna-
3.
You have to understand, I'm gonna see it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be like,
Well,
why was that 4
No,
hours?
you're going to see it and like it.
Yes,
Darn
yes,
it.
we're gonna make you.
gonna watch it in the back of a taxi on Grub's phone.
That's
Yeah.
right, the way it was intended.
What would your baby have to be made out of for you to consider eating it?
Pizza.
Immediately
maybe like a
pizza.
donut.
I was gonna say a donut.
baby. Yeah, donut baby I'd eat.
All right.
Something to think about.
You think about that one, Bailey. You get back to me.
Well, speaking about fucking pumpkins, I've been playing a farming game. As well.
All right.
Fields of Mystria. I don't believe you can bang a pumpkin here.
Oh, I've heard this is very good.
So I've never played Stardew Valley.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
what?
oh, now it's time to disappoint our friends today, Bailey.
Yeah.
Here we
Disappointing
go.
our friends hour. Okay, well, we're on theme at least.
I've never played Stardew Valley. The only farming game that I got heavily invested in was Disney Dreamlight Valley for different reasons. We're not going to talk about that.
Wow.
But Fields of Mystria, it is a farming game, except it takes what I assume is the Stardew formula of growing stuff, except you add magic into it. I'm only like an hour or so into it. Friend of the site, Sarah Podzorski, did work on the game. So shouts out to Homegirl. And this is making me think I might like farming games.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
fun.
you should probably play Stardew Valley. I mean, but I am, I could like always go for another one of those. Fae Farm happened last year, and that was also
Oh,
just
right.
a farming game with fantasy magic stuff. So I wonder like how the two of these compare.
Yeah, Fae Farm had like made it easier to like run around and jump around and like get up to different levels and stuff like that, and it was like in full 3D. This one is much more Stardew Valley coded across the board.
Question for the panel here.
Yes.
Do I just jump in blind to Stardew at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it'll be fine. You'll figure it out.
You'll be fine.
Well,
Yeah.
it's hard to say because, like, I jumped in blind, but I had also, like, played Harvest Moon before, and it's very much one of those. There's a specific loop to the game that I think you'll figure out. The game.
I think you would ask your friends who have played. For advice on like, hey, I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna miss this season and not do anything. We'll be like, well, you know what? Actually, if you like grow some barley, then you'll have something to do in the winter and stuff like that. We can give you pointers. That's a good way to play, I think.
Okay. Grow
You know
Nikki's
what's so
dog.
fun? They have that co-op mode. I've never done multiplayer
me
Stardew
neither.
Valley. How does that work?
I don't know.
We should find out.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
I know.
Good
I've been wanting
idea,
to do that.
Grub.
I've been wanting to do that for a while. So
All right.
there we
Farming
go.
Fridays.
Hell yeah.
Headed to you
Farm
this week.
Fridays.
Jaron, here's the only important tip: is that the game was going to really try to push Penny on you as a romantic
Your
interest.
dog?
No, not my dog. It's a redhead lady who's like she's really nice like kids, and her mom's an alcoholic, and maybe you can save her. Like, don't
I'll let
fall
you
for
handle
that
this,
shit.
Bailey.
Minotti, that only happens if you talk to her.
Yeah, that would happen to me
listen,
'cause I don't talk to any of the women.
Bailey,
Every
listen.
single time I date Abigail, the girl who eats rocks.
I went with
Henny
Haley, and I
doesn't
kind
talk
of
to
feel
me at all.
I'm married to the land. I would never date a character in a video game.
Listen,
I married Haley, and I
Minotti-
kind of feel bad about it because it was entirely superficial.
I love Haley. You can change her.
You actually do change her, and it's almost upsetting how much she changes just by dating you. Because he's kind
She's
of like,
great.
yeah, she's great, I guess, but her whole thing is that she's kind of like doesn't want to be there. She's kind of like over it. She's kind of got like oh, what am I even doing here? Then she falls in love with you. She's like, I love living on a farm.
Oh.
Actually,
No, am I gonna look up
Oh,
a
Haley.
tier list for romance in this game?
So Harvest
Well,
Moon
there are some best ones
64.
and worse ones.
Harvest Moon 64 is the first farm game I played, but it was also the first game I ever played where you could date people, and I thought that was very exciting as a 12 or 13-year-old boy. I got
I know why
very
you're
into
playing
that.
Fields of Mystery, Jan. I just saw a lady in overalls. Look at this. It's just Disney Dreamlight Valley all over again.
Turns out that there's a lot of those in farming games.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladies in overalls. Yeah.
Listen, Grub, we all got a type, okay? You don't gotta put me on blast here, all right? Anyway, God, I'm gonna keep that thought inside my head. I'm not gonna share that.
Good job.
I did the quick thing of the mental math of all right, I already put too much out on the internet. We're not going to say that I almost did it.
Do it.
Step back from the ledge.
Do it, or
You know
I'll
what?
talk about Muppet Vision some more.
Oh,
I'm
God.
okay with that.
Yeah, we like
but
Muppet
Jeff and
Vision,
Dan
too.
don't like it. Yeah, all right.
I think there should be more Bean Bunny merch.
Yeah, some people don't like Bean Bunny. Isn't
That's
that
crazy
weird?
to me.
Is he
That's
that
crazy to
Puerto
me.
Rican rapper?
No,
No,
that's
that's the-
Bad Bunny. Bean Bunny is one of the main characters
Oh.
of Muppet Vision 3D.
No,
How do you feel about Waldo, Bailey? A lot of people don't like Waldo. I'm okay.
You're not
with it. He's a
supposed to
little
like
annoying.
Waldo. He's the spirit of 3D. He's
God, it
obnoxious
feels
on
like-
purpose.
Yeah.
it feels like I'm slowly trudging up and I'm doing fat
See,
rolls through this podcast.
Jan,
My
you
it's
could have
me.
revealed something true about yourself, and instead you listened to more Muppet Vision. Was that a fair trade-off?
Bombcast
Bombcast would be a podcast that fat rolls. That's how I feel
listen.
about it for sure.
I've already decided I'm going to allow myself to get real and emotional and very inebriated only one night of Gamescom, okay?
The night
And
we
I'm
do
gonna-
karaoke.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I found 3. You already saw my list. Mike, I'm going to send you a list. Just like you have been sending people to their death. Dark Souls 2.
Maybe more the other way. Yeah, so I finished Dark Souls 1, really enjoyed it. I felt like I did pretty good too. I was pretty proud of myself.
You were doing well.
I was doing well, especially against the bosses. I except for the gargoyles, which was early on when I wasn't really a built-out character. I don't think any boss took me more than 4 tries, so I was a big boy. Started Dark Souls 2 finally, which I always just kind of hear is a bit more of a controversial one for whatever reasons. There's some things about it that are just a bit different in terms of game feel or game design. I don't really know, but I got a sense of that playing the first few hours, and mostly getting my butt kicked. Now, it turns out the large reason that happened was because in
Did you join a cult?
I joined a cult.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
They're called covenants, which is a much nicer way of saying cult.
Sure.
Right.
That's what cults call themselves. Yes.
I joined a covenant because, like, in the last game, in Dark Souls 1, there's all these covenants. And, like, I was like, should I join these? And, I'm streaming. And chat's like, yeah, sure. It doesn't matter. It was like just a way to get spells. And I'm not using spells anyway. So I would just join a covenant because it's like a spider lady.
User.
Yeah, I'm not some, like, stupid little magic user. But, I found this like rock and it's like, do you want to join the Covenant of Champions? I was like, yeah, sure. And I was just kind of clicking and I don't know, talking in chat. And like immediately chat's like, should we tell him? I was like, tell me what? I don't know. Like,
Oh, that's never
like,
good.
Right. And I'm trying to do like a pretty blind playthrough. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to push the point. But, then I played for another 2 hours and it was very difficult. And I died a lot. It was hard to make any proggies, right? I was really like scratching and clawing. And then finally, somebody let it slip that I basically activated hard mode by joining that covenant. Yeah, so I kind of freaked out. But thankfully, there's a cat you can talk to get you out of covenants. So I had to like teleport back to town and talk to the cat. And the cat really liked the way I smell for some reason and like made sure I knew that. And then, I was out of there and I was having a much nicer time after that. But there is like some of the weirdness that people talk about, like healing works differently. The animation for it is slower, but also there's a lot more healing consumable items that you're supposed to use. There's in general more areas with a lot of enemies, so there's more kind of crowd control happening. But when like I fought some bosses and stuff, that was very fun. That still felt very good. So I think I'm kind of seeing both sides of the people who are like, Dark Souls 2 is kind of the weird one. And then the defenders like, no, it's still great. It's essential. You got to play it also. I'm having fun. I'm excited to go through more of it.
Mike, I'm excited for you and your journey. And I also want to hear if you were going to stick through and continue going through. And you've probably already beaten this several times, but Mega Man X5.
Yeah. That was just kind of like, okay, play something on my Switch. And I know Jeff brought up maybe making me play Mega Man X7. It started making me think about the X games, which, I'm a big Mega Man fan, but usually more classic than X. And that kind of back half of the X games, I have not played nearly as much as the front half. Now, that's largely because they're not as good. Mm-hmm. And playing X5, I had a good time. But X5, which is generally considered one of the better ones of 5 through 8, it kind of almost bums me out in some ways. Because so Mega Man X4 and Mega Man 8 were on PlayStation, and 8 was even on Saturn, right? So they were like 2D Capcom games of that generation, and they were kind of like very high production values. They had anime cutscenes. They had bad voiceover in the West, but whatever. It was cutscenes. Everything was very spiffy. And neither of them sold particularly well. So then X5 is clearly a cheaper production, right? Like it's just like still images in the cutscenes, and the graphics don't look quite as polished. It's also the first one, at least that I can remember, that has the radio buddy. So you like, you walk 10 feet and then the game just stops and there's dialogue options like, Mega Man, there's, a gap there. You're going to have to jump over it. It's like, yes, I know. It just really drives me crazy because Mega Man is such a Dewey game. It's worse than almost anything else to be that game and to just stop and have somebody tell me what to do. Drives me absolutely crazy. So it was still fun enough to play through. It was kind of on the easier side for an X game too, which in some ways was nice. It made it a bit more chill. But there's a reason why I don't think about Mega Man X5 as much as say X4 and the first X. Those are kind of my go-tos for that series.
You are just playing on the collections, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So just I was playing that on a Switch on the Mega. Right. That's Volume 2 Mega Man X collection.
And those are pretty good.
Very good.
Okay, cool.
They're actually good. In fact, it feels better than the first Mega Man Classic Collection on Switch, which has like noticeable input lag for me. I don't necessarily like playing the Mega Man Classic Collection.
That is a rough thing
Switch
with
anyways.
The Switch in general. Is a lot of the emulated 8-bit and 16-bit games, so for some reason, end up with a little bit of input lag, and it's a little bit frustrating.
It's weird because like these PlayStation ones feel pretty good actually, but if I'm gonna play, Mega Man 3 is my favorite video game ever, right? And if I'm gonna play that these days, I'd rather just play a ROM on my computer. In fact, actually, the eShop Virtual Console version of Mega Man 3 on the 3DS was pretty much perfect. They got rid of some glitches. It kind of ran better. That was my favorite way of playing Mega Man 3 for a long time.
Well, speaking about checking out older games, Jeff Grubb, you've been playing Doom and Doom 2.
Yeah, so at QuakeCon, they announced that Night Dive had actually done a little bit of a redux of Doom and Doom 2, and they put it together into one collection. And if you own Doom or Doom 2, like on Steam or I think a lot of the consoles, you just get it. You get these for free automatically, just a free update. But then you can go, if you don't, you can go get it for $10. And it's really well done. For one thing, they do an excellent job of I think they kind of did a similar thing with that Quake remaster, where they just have all of the stuff listed over to the side. There's Doom 2, there's a bunch of other stuff, and then there's like a bunch of the sort of, I guess, WADs that some people would make later. Machine Games just made a new episode that you could play from the main menu, but they also have the John Romero 1 sigil from a few years back, things like that.
Jeff, pardon my ignorance.
Please.
I've been too scared to ask this.
Yep.
What does WAD mean?
It's where's all the stuff? It's like it's just one of their funny terms, but it's just like when you load in a mod essentially for Doom.
Where's all that?
Where's all the data? Yeah. That's what it's called. Yeah. So anyway, it's like one of those. But I started playing Doom again. Just the first episode. Started playing it. It has the remix to music, which is just really powerful when you're playing that game. That just like consumes you and like gets you in the mood for Doom. And it turns out that game still really fun because it's just so fast and action packed. And I love the way it looks. I've always loved the way that those early 3D shooters with the 2D sprite enemies looked. Made me want to go back and play even more of the what's the Star Wars one? Dark Forces.
Dark Forces.
Yes, it's like I just love the way that looks as well for the same reason. That's a good Doom clone. But yeah, I think they did a really good job with this, and I'm gonna try to stick with it a little bit. I will probably at some point skip over some of the content and go play what Machine Games made because I like what they did with the Quake thing. They did a similar sort of, oh, hey, here's a new story for Quake. They did that here. I hope this is like Machine Games like getting ready to maybe take over some of these franchises in some way and do some new stuff. Clearly Doom's still going, so maybe they're going to go back to Quake, but I think this is just a neat thing that they do, and Night Dive, as always, like really delivered.
We still need to play PO'd, which was another Night Dive FPS remaster.
I played a little bit of that a few weeks back, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, that was like a weird 3DO Doom-like where you play as like a chef, an angry chef on a spaceship.
And you get like those chopping cleavers and stuff that you can throw. Yeah, it's really weird. I like it.
And it's called PO'd, so come on.
I get it. Speaking about remasters, hot remasters that everyone on the internet is buzzing about and having so much fun. Bailey Myers, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Yeah, so the new Honest Game trailer drops in 7 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, I hated this fucking game.
No, like, did you play Luigi's Mansion 3? Do you like Luigi's Mansion 3?
Oh, I loved Luigi's Mansion 3.
This is acceptable.
You can't go to the heights of Gooigi and then take me back to this bullshit. First of all, it's just a port. Like, it's not, they made it look a little nicer. They added literally one entire pun. I Googled forever to just be like, is there anything else that they added to this game? No. They added a ghost that lives in a piano, and his name is Beethoven.
That's good, though.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good.
Is it worth 50 of my dollars?
That's
good?
Close.
No.
You say while wearing the Donald Duck butt hat.
The Donald Duck butt hat was free for me, thank you, because my friend Jan got it for me. No, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD it's miserable. First of all, like, I played it on the 3DS and it was fun 10 years ago on the 3DS. It was fine. But once having 2 motion sticks instead of 1, suddenly he feels like Octodad. Like, he is miserable to control. And then I know I'm doing a bad job controlling him, but I'm still just sleepwalking through these fights. And I'm like, I know this is a game for babies, but my God, like, it's boring, and Egad won't shut up and just let me fight the ghosts. Anyway, the trailer drops in 5 minutes. I called him a wailing Italian cuck at least once.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
No, that's accurate.
Sound like Never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke.
It was like super easy combat for baby people. I made a lot of suck jokes because of the vacuum mechanic. Of course, it's right there.
Of course, that's good.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's good.
You know, classic stuff. Watch Honest Game trailers every other Tuesday at 10 a.m.
I had a hard time getting excited when they announced it because I also like Luigi's Mansion 3, but like I remembered Luigi's Mansion 2, and I remember it being like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, one of the great things about Luigi's Mansion 3 is that it was such a huge improvement over 2 to the point where I never really had any desire to go back to it, even if it got some kind of new port or version. I would just go play 3 again.
Yeah, like it looks nice, but so does Luigi's Mansion 3, and there's way more game there. It's just
Luigi's Mansion 3 might be the
boring.
nicest looking
it's beautiful.
Switch
Oh,
game,
yeah.
or Metroid Prime Remastered. Luigi's Mansion 3 looks great.
It's
the
really
Digital
good.
Foundry is like to proclaim that is the best looking Switch game, and I tend to agree in terms of like the visual fidelity of the animations and stuff. Next Level is so good.
Yeah.
Next level.
And
Yeah,
you just
they're
have
next
Luigi's
level.
Mansion 2, a boring game that you can fall asleep playing and still win.
I think it is worth it just to get an Honest Games trailer about it. So I'm
There you
looking forward
go.
to watching it.
You know, now we've switched to every other week for Honest Game trailers, which some viewers have been observant enough to notice. And so I'm really, prioritizing the games that I'm going to have to suffer when I play, but result in scripts people enjoy because my anger becomes comedy. But my God, I was mad playing this because I was looking forward to it. And then I played it and I was like, what is this? This sucks ass. And they charged $50 for it. I'm just trying to save everyone $50.
How is it more than Metroid Prime Remastered? That's
Nintendo out of their minds.
Say.
There was another recent remaster that was also
Well,
similar.
Donkey
like,
Kong Country
was it, yeah,
Returns is coming out. I think it's going to be like 50 or 60 or
It's
something.
like 50, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
All right.
Just here to save you a buck.
Thank you, Bailey.
Yeah,
Thank you,
anytime.
Bailey.
It's
Thank
my
you,
it's my duty. It's my burden.
Your journalistic writer duties, just like
Duties.
Yeah.
oh god, that's the fat roll of the podcast. Jeff Grubb, journalism games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered.
Covered wars. Absolutely. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is not out for a while, but we got our hands on preview code, and this is a Capcom game, and it turns out they're good at making games and good at bringing these things back, and this is a very good example of that. I don't want to break any news or step on any toes. I am really enjoying what I've played of this. I think what is going to help this game a lot is the intervening years in which we've gotten so many different kinds of games, especially roguelites becoming very popular, giving people maybe the more confidence to be like, yeah, it is actually kind of cool to start over. Because I remember that being, people don't remember, there's a time system in Dead Rising in the first game. There's a 72-hour clock. And it's not real world, but it's a clock that's always ticking down. And when you die, you get the option to be like, do you want to continue from your last save, or do you want to restart from the beginning with your character leveled to where they are right now? And I think at the time, I remember being like, I'll do that maybe. This is kind of, it took me a while to get over that hump and realize that. Here I was like, oh yeah, I know from experience now that all that stuff I just did that took me an hour, I'm going to go do that in 5 minutes now. And that's exactly how
It's the Majora's Mask thing, right?
It's the Majora's Mask thing. And yes, exactly. And all that stuff is here, and it's even more well explained. And the game just looks good, sounds great. They're having fun in the way that Dead Rising always does, where one of the costumes they gave me was I don't know what the character's name for Mega Man Battle Network. Is it just Mega Man? But the
Mega Man.exe.
Yeah, Mega Man.exe suit. So I'm like in these quote unquote serious cutscenes where he's like, someone's yelling at him, and he just Frank West just looks like the biggest doof dressed up like he's going to cosplay at an anime convention. And I love that stuff. So it's hitting all the notes. It is a really well done, like graded version. Now I've not like checked on every re-release of Dead Rising in the past, but this one is very good in terms of the way it looks. And I think that the presentation of here's how this game works, go ahead and jump in and mess around with that. They do a good job with that as well. So I'm enjoying it quite a bit. And I was in the mood for Dead Rising, so I'm really glad that this is hitting this year.
Lovely, lovely. Great to hear. I'm also excited. Before we go to break, some quick quick hits, some quick tidbits of games. Bailey Myers, I saw that you originally put Marvel Snap on this list.
I then decided I didn't want to talk about Marvel Snap in front of people.
Now we're going to talk about Marvel Snap.
Fine, I have a really good deck finally, and I'm really kicking ass.
Oh.
I have I've not opened this game in months, and then when I saw that on the run of show, I had re-downloaded it.
Oh my God, Jan.
Oh, sorry. I hope you hadn't seen it. I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about Marvel Snap in front of all these people. No, I have a Mr. Negative deck now, and people are not expecting that, and I really kicked their butts. Oh boy. Big recommend. Play with that one. That's fun. I'm a big fan of Marvel Snap. I didn't want to get into it, and now every night before I go to bed, got to do my dailies.
Yeah, that was me for a while. I didn't want to. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I didn't know Bailey's gonna be on the show. I did buy a Sheeran the Wanderer game this week.
The new one?
No, the old one.
Oh,
that's
which
on
one?
sale.
Okay.
The Tower of Fortune and the Dice of Fate.
Oh, that was my first one of Sheeran, the Sheeran games that I played too. I love that one. It's very fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah. I also have no idea what this game, the last game you put on this list is. Tokyo Xanadu X Plus.
Oh, Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus is it originally came out about 10 years ago, I want to say. This is a Switch port, an actually successful Switch port. It's a Falcom game. And it's got a brand new a brand new localization, new playable characters, new content. So it is actually worth the it's a remaster that's good. But it's fun. It's the most JRPG a JRPG could possibly be. You can immediately tell which of the characters are going to be playable because they're the only ones with funny hair, and all of their parents are missing or just gone. And they're just casual about it. Like, yeah, my parents are on a business trip for a year. Oh, okay, sure. And they're just high schoolers who are in Tokyo, and all these hellmouths keep opening up, and they have to go into these dungeons and fight the greed. And it's some of the best, most satisfying fighting mechanics of pretty much any action game I've played recently. I forgot how fun this fucking game is. It's so satisfying, and they have a bunch of cosmetics, so all of my characters are wearing matching wizard hats and robes, so that's how you know they're the main characters. And every chapter has a cool anime rock intro song, and it's the same song every time. It's just they're just here's the intro song again, it's a new chapter. It's great. I really recommend it.
We're gonna just start doing that with the Bombcast.
Yeah, I can't believe they're making new Xanadu games. I just remember Foz Xanadu for the NES.
Just let him go.
It's real. Yeah.
Not Xanadu. They're kind of go balking to what you're saying.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jerry of Riviera.
Yeah. Oh, good Jerry. That's what all the kids call him. And you're mad at me. They're the ones that groaned.
Listen.
I was trying to say let him go.
It's just there's gonna be a sequel coming out, and they've released this Switch port, and the new localization is very, very good, and I really recommend it. It's classic Falcom. There's a lot of reading, but you can skip all of it and just get to the dungeon crawling if you want. The main character is a guy named Ko, and his major personality trait is that he sucks ass. It's so good.
Just like
is
me,
he a mediocre man?
Oh, the most mediocre, yeah. His cool new female friend teaches him how to do everything, and he's like, wow, I wish I was as cool as her. And then there's a side story where she's like, I don't need him, I can just go into the dungeon by myself and do fine. And then she does.
Yeah, she was right.
Falcom proves that all these games that we're making have to make $1 billion, and Falcom's like, no, we're just gonna keep making.
We're gonna make Yeez and a million Trails games, and they all seem to do well, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So it's okay. I'm glad that Japan has sort of figured this out, and even if we haven't, they have, and they're going to keep making games at a certain scale that makes games make sense. That's
okay.
neat.
How do you pronounce the franchise? Capital Y, lowercase S. It's Ease. It's not Yeez.
No, it's not like Yeezy. It's Ease.
It's Ease. Okay. I'll ease off the mispronunciation then. My bad.
Thank you, Jeff Grubb.
I was bursting.
Resisting. Here's a pitch. Jeff Backlar, if you're listening, a new feature. We fly me to Japan, and I just have a fun time in Tokyo, and we just call it Tokyo.
Have fun in Japan.
And we just call it Tokyo Xanadu.
Okay,
I like it.
That's good. I like that a lot.
That's a reference that so many people will get. It's perfect. It's a slam dunk.
We call something Jap Jan, or is that bad?
No.
I don't think that's bad.
We have to go to break now.
Real quick, I would say
He's accidentally doing slurs on the podcast.
What?
You're in so much trouble, buddy.
What did I do?
2 other
God
games I've
damn
been
it.
playing that I can't really talk about, but there's one that like everyone else is playing, right? We're all playing it, and that's a pretty good game that no one else is allowed to say what it is.
Oh, this is so what? Is this the thing that Tom Warren got in trouble for?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, all these people like, Tom Warren, you shouldn't be able to.
Oh yeah, all those people can like, go eat shit. Relax. They're like, you signed an NDA. No, he didn't. And they're like, well, it's an informal NDA. That's not a thing. What are you talking about? You sound crazy. God, these people. Sorry, that made me mad. And then there's another one.
18,000 concurrent players. We're all supposed to pretend like it's not, like no one knows, like it's a big secret because they want us to pretend it's a
corporate
secret.
bootlickers. Get over yourselves.
Look, like I don't want to make Valve mad. I'm not like proud of that, right?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Now I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know what you guys were talking about because I blacked out after the slur.
I was trying to move us on. Oh, go to break, Jan. Go to break.
Look,
right,
I
Better
didn't
Black-
mean it like that.
You never mean to say a slur until it comes out of your
I
mouth.
was just thinking of.
We'll be breaking
trying
back
to
in
work-
with an emergency apology right after these messages.
I was like, oh, it sounds like.
Mike, pull out your notes app right now, okay?
Words I'm not allowed to say.
For a long time,
Damn it.
Apology.
for a long time, because of the Spaceballs, I thought that was a short for Jewish American Princess because they made that joke in there.
That is,
No,
it
let's
was,
stop talking
but
about the
It's also
word.
that?
that's
Okay.
also not good.
No, yeah. Listen,
Remember
I'm
when
not
Jeff
saying
thought
it.
that
He
fan-
did.
Jeff thought that Fantasian was that fantasy Asian. He didn't get in trouble.
You don't get uncanceled by throwing someone under the
I
bus.
was just trying to do a pun like canceled. I just didn't think about what the word was as it was coming out of my mouth. And I apologize profusely for
You know
not
what?
thinking more
You know
before
what?
speaking.
He's out.
Isn't it interesting that both of these two that just got canceled doing slurs against Asians? What's the deal, huh?
Wow.
As your Asian friend here on the podcast. Anyway, we're
In
gonna take a
Asian History Month.
Oh, man.
Fuck that.
Oh, Jan Pan would have been so much better.
Oh, boy.
No, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop. All right. We're gonna go to black. We're gonna take a quick break. Oh God. We'll be back with the news.
I'm trying to stack up my paper. That shit will fuck up a hater. The only time when they holler is when they need you for favors. See you, these haters are minor, cause this big shit is major. I'll be rocking designers and still designing my trainers. Ain't following fashion, it's always me who I came as. Ain't got a twin, I know she copied me. We ain't the same. I don't know you from Adam, so why you act like we neighbors? We ain't friends, I just couldn't give an F cause we faded. I'd probably give an F if I'm famous because I'm cute. Ain't no better way I can say this cause it don't matter about the size. I could give it to Taylor, now take it in, open your ears. I still flow in your traders. Can't wait to hit the wheel, I'm whipping round a Mercedes. I want Ferraris and Bentleys, want Versace and Fendi. You see my face on the telly, you scream my name like I'm Jerry. I run the house like I'm Jerry, got Mr. Tom on my celly. You told me Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. You know they call me Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Mr. Springer, I'm the Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. You know they call me Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Mr. Springer, I'm a Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. This year I'm doing it big, I'm talking bigger than Rick. Got all these people talking like they could've did what I did. Don't give a hush what you think, don't even care who you with. I'm gonna blow up this year, you'll probably be blowing the sick. Ain't into rocking with fakes, cause all my shit is legit. And if you ain't get it now, then you're probably just thick. And I ain't trying to insult you, I'm just telling you what I think. I got a lot up on my mind, I'm just hoping you take the hint. Ain't trying to cut you at the spot, no. Big up everybody making grub, Remember when I used to have a job, oh lord. I could barely keep up with the squad, couldn't wait to hit the wheel, whipping round a Mercedes. I want Ferraris and Bentleys, Jimmy Choo and Giuseppe. I'm on the block like I'm Jenny, you scream my name like I'm Jerry. You see my face on the telly, got Mr. Tom on my celly. You told me Jerry, you know they call me Jerry. Mr. Springer, I'm the Jerry. You know they call me Jerry. Mr. Springer, I'm a Jerry. You see my face on the telly, you see my face on the you see my face on the telly.
You scream my name like I'm Jerry.
You see my face on the telly, you see my face on the telly, you see my face on the telly. You scream my name like I'm Jerry. I run the house like I'm Jerry. I run the house like I'm Jerry. I run the house like I'm Jerry. Got Mr. Tom on my celly. I run the house like I'm Jerry. I run the house like I'm Jerry. I run the house like I'm Jerry. Got Mr. Tom on my celly. You told me Jerry. You know they call me Jerry. Mr. Springer, I'm the Jerry. You know they call me Jerry. Mr. Springer, I'm a Jerry.
Only way you will be getting a slice.
Last for the money, juice for the O's, freeze for the growth. Last for the money, juice for the O's, freeze for the growth. Last for the money, juice for the O's, freeze for the growth. Getting green on the road, I will feed it with D's to the P's, they're my O's. Last for the money, juice for the O's, freeze for the growth. Last for the money, juice for the O's, freeze for the growth. Last for the money. Freeze for the growth. Getting green on the road. I will feed it with D's to the P's. Gonna run into the talk now. 10 toes on my 2 feet, stand tall when I walk round. Used to rolling with a cutter tuck, trying to eat, where's the fork now? But I beg you don't touch my plate. You don't wanna see that fate. Only bread when I bake. Trees on money, I'm on greens like a vegan. Got loud man mute when I see them. Speak truth while they lie like a sleeping. No time when there's niggas to be meeking. In T with the L to be creeping. I'm a king, only queens I be speeching. That's why this HMT's what I'm seeing in. And it's only high grade man are teaching. It's got me screaming. Last for the money, juice for the O's, freeze for the growth. Last for the money, juice for the O's, freeze for the growth. Last for the money, juice for the O's, freeze for the growth. Getting green on the road, I will feed it with D's to the P's, they're my O's.
Breaking news. New Honest Game Trailers is out. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, written
That
by
is breaking news.
Bailey Myers.
Thank you. Yeah.
Of course.
Look at
of
that.
course.
Please watch it. I worked so hard on it and suffered so greatly for all of you.
Fantastic. Bailey, I think we're going to put this on the store.giantbomb.com, but I think we should print out all the scripts that you write for Honest Game Trailers and just sell them in a binder.
Yeah, no, people really want to see the script notes where I'm like really specific about certain clips. I'm like, be sure to time it just like this or else it won't be funny. Please do that. They're gonna love that. They're gonna think, wow, she is a pain in the ass to work with.
We're gonna attach those cool clips. I don't know what they're called, like the gold
Paper
ones.
clips?
No, I know what a paper clip is. God damn it! It's like the gold ones, and then you stick them through the hole, and then you like unfold them.
Oh, those things.
Ooh.
Yes. The
No one knows
bendies.
what they're called, huh?
The bendy, the gold
Are they
bendies.
called like
The
they're not called,
Peggies,
those aren't brads, are they?
Brads. Anyway, Jeff, grab
Are
the
they in a
news.
frat?
Sorry. I was trying to think of a way to make a Peggy's joke, and I also thought better of that.
Hey, you're on a roll today, huh?
Yeah,
We
doing
saw the
great.
thought process.
Doing great.
I got news here for everybody. Let's start here with this first one. Meta is shutting down Ready at Dawn. Meta has decided to close its first-party game development studio, Ready at Dawn. The studio was based in California. It was founded in 2003. Meta acquired it in 2020. Recently, it's been focused on VR games, but previously it had done really well-regarded like PlayStation Portable and PlayStation Vita games like that. Well, mostly PSP. Daxter, God of War, Chains of Olympus. They did eventually make The Order 1886 for PS4, a game I really like. But they became VR specialists. They were very good at that, actually. Oculus, Facebook / Meta acquired them and got them to work on that stuff. And now they're not spending a lot of money on making VR games, it seems like. So Ready at Dawn got the axe. It's a shame because this is a studio that had so much talent. And you could kind of see like this being the way it was going to end because I think we had a pretty good sense early on that VR was like, it could be a thing, but it's not going to be a thing like that where it's going to be able to support a ton of developers. And here we are, Ready at Dawn, closed down.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad indictment for like the state of VR video games because I think if you ask most people, like, hey, like, try to name 5 good VR games, Lone Echo would probably come up as one of them. And now that studio is just gone. It's a shame that they have to be gone and they can't just, I don't know, go back to making PlayStation games or something. You know, I think Order 1886 at the time was received a bit harshly, largely for being kind of short. That's a criticism that never really, I don't want to say ages well in the sense like it wasn't a fair criticism, but as time goes by and people aren't thinking as much about like, you know, the value proposition, right? Like how much hours of entertainment I'm getting per dollar spent. You don't care about that as much. I think people were able to enjoy Order 1886.
We love a short king now.
A lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a shame, right? Gosh, remember even Insomniac was making a lot of VR games at one point, right?
Oh,
and they were in a
yeah.
position where they're able to do that and keep making its normal kind of games. So, you know, they weren't tied to that. It's kind of a scary what if to think about.
Yeah, you did point out that it would be nice if they could just be like, okay, well, we had our time here at Facebook. Now, can we leave and go back and make other games now? But that's not the fate for them, at least not yet. That is something that did recently happen, though, to Tango. Oh, go ahead, Mike. You're going to say something.
No, I was just going to say, like, same kind of thing. It's like, you know, they're just shutting them down. I wonder if they tried shopping them around. I mean,
right, no one's buying
like...
a VR studio, right? And that, I wonder if they like tried being like, well, hey, does any like Microsoft, do you want this or something like that? And I don't know, but a lot of purse strings still pulled pretty tightly right now, even though we're getting near the end of inflation and or hyperinflation. And interest rates are going to start going down here pretty soon. No one's spending a lot of money, probably because they think interest rates are going to go down soon. They could borrow money cheaper here pretty soon. But Ready at Dawn's not going to find a new owner. At least it doesn't seem that way. And it didn't seem that way for Tango Gameworks either, but that is no longer the case. Hi-Fi Rush Studio Tango Gameworks has been acquired by Krafton and will remain open. Tango Gameworks has been acquired by the PUBG publisher, ensuring its survival after Xbox announced its closure in April. The South Korean publisher, which owns PUBG Studios and the Callisto Protocol Studio, intends to support Tango Gameworks' creative visions and continue working on the Hi-Fi Rush IP, which it also acquired. It did not acquire The Evil Within or Ghostwire Tokyo. Those will remain with Xbox. But this is amazing. Like apparently they put out the word, hey, if you worked at Tango Gameworks, you have a job. Come back to work if you want.
Weird.
Yes. So
That's crazy.
That's great. That never happens.
Right. So a very interesting sort of scenario here where this is how it's going to end for the studio in a somewhat positive way.
Jeff Grubb, I don't know if this is detailed anywhere, but since they were technically laid off by Microsoft, do those employees still get like some type of severance package?
Or I think they probably would. It would be very bizarre if Xbox was like, give us that money back or something like that.
Right.
So
I just didn't know if they reaccepted their employment, if that'd be in void or whatever.
right, maybe, but probably not. I think, and the big thing there is that Microsoft is always looking for the positive PR angle. They have enough money, and as weird as that is to say about any corporation, that they usually behave in a way that we're like, we have enough money, we need positive sentiment because that's actually going to pave a road for us to make even more money down in the long run. When we have to explain ourselves to regulators, we can always point back and be like, we do the right thing when we are in these scenarios. So I imagine that they would let those people keep their money because they did lay them off. They did close that studio. Someone else bought it and reopened it. Microsoft shouldn't get their money back. That'd be crazy.
Right,
They got money from selling the studio.
Yeah, if someone like stabs me with a knife and then someone else takes me to the hospital, the person who stabs me with a knife does not get off scot-free from that.
I would hope that would not be the case. Yeah, exactly.
Just
trying to figure
because
out,
your friend says a slur doesn't mean that you don't had an
It doesn't bring down the whole podcast.
I'm trying to figure out what exactly did Crafton buy from Microsoft then? Like the name of the studio and then the rights to Hi-Fi Rush. But then like they're going back and individually rehiring people, right?
Well, I mean, those people are no longer working there, right? So I think they do
Yeah.
have to rehire them. I think that's just how it works. But yeah, they bought the studio, and I guess that just means the name, and then the IP rights for Hi-Fi Rush, which would be worth more. That would be worth more. I don't know if it has an office space. I have no idea.
Do you think? I mean, did Microsoft try shopping around Tango before closing it? Do you think they even bother doing that, or is it just kind of this weird thing? Like, no, we're just shutting it down. And then later, we have to be like, actually, we'll take that. And like, oh, you will? Okay, well, you kind of can't. Now you'd have to go and like hire all these people we fired. Like, okay, we'll do it.
Fine.
Oh, sure, all right then. Just it's weird. It's very weird. I'm glad it's
strange.
happening, but it was weird that Microsoft ever wanted to ask these people. And part of me would love to see Tango like make some big new game, whether it's Hi-Fi Rush 2 or something else, have it be this giant hit that wins Game of the Year award, and just to kind of see the egg on Xbox's face if that happened, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it feels like we're destined for that because that just would be so in line with what happens with Microsoft and Xbox so many times. Stepping on rakes, yes. Yeah, I mean, to answer your question about, like, do I think Microsoft tried to shop them around? Maybe a little bit, but it's like all that stuff takes time and money too. And if they're like, let's just cut it off, and then that just saves us money now, and we don't have to worry about it. It's like, when you, should we have a garage sale, or should we just throw it all away? And it's like, I think Microsoft's like, let's just throw it all away. And a big part of that was, in that moment, there weren't a lot of people making big acquisitions at that moment. So I get maybe that thinking to a certain extent, but I actually don't get closing the studio in the first place, because they made a great game, and that's what you need.
I need Tango Gameworks to make the Girl Pop sequel to Hi-Fi Rush.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need Chaperone.
Yeah.
I need Brett.
Holy
Summer.
shit, that would rule.
One of my like few complaints with Hi-Fi Rush. Something Bailey's talking about the Xanadu game. It's the kind of mediocre male protagonist who like kind of thought was a bit too much of a bumbling himbo fool.
Yeah, they always do the thing where they surround him with people that love him, and so I come around to end up loving him because I like all those characters. It's the same thing that happened with me and Cal Kestis in the Star Wars game, where it was like
that happens to me in real life.
The same thing that happens to me in real life, exactly. But I am getting a little bit sick of that too, Mike. Where it's like, just make the main character one of these other interesting characters. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going here. The sentiment around Marathon at Bungie is not great, according to Jason Schreier. He went on Lucy's Friends Per Second podcast and had a conversation over there. And I think Ralph might have asked him about, hey, what about Marathon? How's it looking over there? And he expressed concerns based on what he's heard from the studio, from people working at the studio, that the game did slip from this year to next year, and now it might not even make 2025, but who knows? But internally, they're kind of worried about it. They're worried that the people that showed up for a Bungie Destiny game will not transfer over to an extraction PvP shooter, which is what Marathon is. And I get that concern. Like, I would, if I was making that game and spending a lot of money on it, and our futures as a studio like relied on this thing being very good, I would also have those anxieties. But I think that a lot of Bungie fans will kind of follow that studio, especially when they're like, here's a new game where you could shoot new guns. They're going to want to see what those guns feel like. And if the guns feel good, I think that's going to be most of the battle won there. Now, getting an extraction shooter to be appealing to a larger audience will still be a challenge, but I think they can probably figure it out, but who knows? Either way, a lot's riding on Marathon, and you kind of don't want to hear that it's in trouble even a little bit at this point, but that seems to be the case.
Yeah,
you guys have any interest in Marathon? Go ahead, Mike. Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, no. I have inherent interest because, like what you said, I like the way that Bungie games feel. I liked Destiny for a while, and, part of me falling off it was just, I fell off it at one point and just felt hard to get back in. So just the idea that there's a new something, like, okay, yeah, I can get in here. My interest in extraction shooters as a genre has pretty much been nil generally. Like, I have not even really bothered checking out Escape from Tarkov. Just doesn't really sound like a concept that does a whole lot for me. But, a real spiffy one from Bungie, I'll give it a shot. But, I mean, no matter what your live service game is, no matter who's making it, there's always an inherent risk of whether it's going to be accepted, whether it's going to do well. There are no guarantees. And like you said, so much is riding on this. Even if they thought it was looking good, I'd be worried.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have any interest, Gruff. Even if the guns shoot well, I think my tastes when it comes to like first-person shooters has kind of gone past the Halo and Destiny mold, where I do want something a little snappier. That being said, I haven't checked out Destiny 2 in years now, but an extraction shooter is just not the genre that I'm going for at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless they put Chapel Rowan in it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
You
Which
put
there's a
Chapel
chance.
Rowan in anything, I am simply going to have to play it.
Who's that?
Chapel Rowan Fortnite skin when? What?
No, it's okay. This is the whole thing, right? It's like, Chaperone's still somewhat, she's very popular, but she's like still somewhat new, and lots of people don't know. Yes.
She's a musician. Mike Minotti, I feel like you'd really vibe with her stuff.
Oh, you're going to love her stuff. Yes.
Yes. Mike Minotti, what is the acronym that is on a lot of people's soundboards of you saying?
Oh, fat ass white girl. Oh, it's just the acronym, not the whole thing. POG.
Jeff Grubb, what's the next story?
Wait. 1 second. Did anybody else hear Jan call Jeff gruff a moment ago?
I'm pretty gruff. That's fair.
Just wanted to make sure.
It's not a slur, though, so
Really,
people aren't really going all crazy about it.
Sorry, just to be clear, your new technique is say something insane and go, quick, what's that over there?
Gruff. Is that the name? No, Griff is the name of Biff's grandson in Back to the Future Part 2. Who's Gruff? Scruff McGruff?
Yes,
Chicago,
Scruff
Illinois.
McGruff. Yes, that's what you're thinking about. Gearbox boss Randy Pitchford teases Borderlands 4. And they both put both these together. He does that after the Borderlands movie had an embarrassing opening weekend. It made $8.8 million. It had a budget of something like $150 million after marketing and all that stuff. It's rough. It's bad. It's so bad. It's a really bad movie. I can't believe how bad it is.
Grub, you and I will, since you and I are the only ones that have seen this movie, we'll find time this week to do a BCR, which will be Borderlands movie.
We will make that happen. I got my notes. I did record something as soon as I got out of there, and I think I went off a little bit.
Yeah. I put in our little compadres Discord chat that I felt nothing after that movie.
I mean, it has there's no foundation to feel anything in the first place. Like they don't know why the characters are doing most of what they're doing. We'll talk about it. It's a bad movie.
It's sweet. Video game movies are bad again. It's like the mid 2000s.
That is 100% the best thing I took out of there is I am nostalgic for bad video game movies of the past, and this movie delivered that. It really did.
I did have a good time every time a friend of the site, Janina Gavankar, popped up. I'm like, Janina.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I liked her haircut.
Homegirl's getting the bag. Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But my favorite thing about it was when Randy Pitchford was trying to turn it to a positive. It's like when the movie's bombing and nobody liked it. He's like, wow, you're all saying that you like what we do better than the Hollywood's greatest writers and producers. As if this movie wasn't some big hit, he wouldn't be out there like, we did it, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We are so proud. We. But now it's like they.
Mm-hmm. And and Gearbox Publishing, like it was in the open. Yeah, it's like, Right, and it's like in the opening credits where it's like they're responsible for making this movie as well. Like, so yeah, clearly this is his doing. But whatever, he's gonna make Borderlands 4 to make it up to everybody. Which, of course, they're making a Borderlands. Borderlands is a very successful game.
Yeah, but part of the problem with the movie is like it is an indictment, right? In some degree, that maybe Borderlands appeal isn't as big as we thought it was. Maybe that's a bit much, but I mean, it's not good for the franchise to have a movie come out and be a massive bomb. And it's not even like when that Monster Hunter movie came out and people just kind of didn't notice, right? Like there's something about this that seems louder. Now,
more expensive for sure.
Blanchett's in it.
Yes, and she's the star. I didn't realize that, Jan, going into it. Like I thought she would be like one of the a secondary character that's part of the team, like equivalent to like a Drax or something. But no, she is Star-Lord in this movie. It's
Jeff,
crazy.
Can I? You can say no. Can I tell people what you messaged me?
Yeah, you can.
He said, nobody can know this, but this is the movie I'm going to think about the most when Cate Blanchett dies.
Yes. And hashtag positive. Like it makes her career more interesting. But
wow,
yeah,
Jeff, you should be canceled for saying something so horrendous.
It's true though. When that day comes, now to be fair, she's probably gonna outlive me. She's only 55. But if she were to die before me, I am just gonna not be able to help myself. I will be thinking about Borderlands. So.
Yeah, I was looking up at her IMDb after this movie. I'm like, man, she was amazing in Tar.
She just made Tar.
Speaking of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, speaking of Monster Hunter. Honestly, though, that is like this movie feels like when she, at the end of Tar, when she goes to, spoilers for Tar, just go see it. This is not going to ruin anything. When she goes to do a Monster Hunter concert, this feels like her like real life career echoing that, where she's going to do a video game movie. It's so weird.
I can't wait for someone to email the podcast angrily. It's like, I've been waiting to watch Tar and you spoiled it.
Go see. Honestly, if that didn't make you want to watch it more and enjoy it more, whatever.
See, I already spoiled Way of Water. Okay, so Borderlands 4, I mean, there is also a distaste these days for the kind of writing that Borderlands seemed to thrive off of for a very long time. Now, Tiny Tina's Wonderland seemed to do well pretty recently anyway, so maybe it's not a problem, but like, I don't know. Do you think the writing's going to evolve in Borderlands 4?
I think so. I mean, I think, because it's not like Randy's sitting there writing the jokes. He's like hiring people that like are good writers and will want to evolve. So yeah, I didn't play Borderlands 3. I don't know, but in Tiny Tina's Wonderland, people seem to be like, yeah, it's different than it used to be. Clearly, it's still in this similar tone, but it is somewhat different.
Well, wasn't the guy who did 1 and 2, his name I can't remember, the guy who was from Destructoid, right, back in the day. And I know I heard more complaints about 3 than I feel like I heard for Tiny Tina's. Yeah,
so I mean, it does need to evolve either way. It does need to. I do expect it to try to do something new. I don't know if they'll be able to like nail it though. Who knows? It comes down to, as long as that game is, Borderlands again and has some jokes and doesn't beat you over the head with it, I think it'll be fine. People seem to really like. I mean, the evidence is. Guess what's doing really well right now? Borderlands 3 it has a lot more active players than it did a week ago on Steam.
It was on sale for like...
That's wild.
It was on sale for like $9 or less or something, which even I almost picked. I was like, I never really played this. I kind of maybe once. I don't know.
I will say I did enjoy my time playing Borderlands 3 when I took Ben Pack's tip of muting all of the voices.
Yes.
Yep,
that
seems
does make
like
a
good
difference.
Yeah.
All right.
Borderlands 1 and 2.
Yeah, I played Borderlands 1. I never played 2 or 3.
Like, do you think like a person that has gone through the trilogy so far of Borderlands and has played it and enjoyed the game really remembers a lot of the writing?
No, I think they remember talking to their friends while playing it online.
They remember Handsome Jack talking about the butt horse or whatever, right?
Right. They remember, like, I guess Moxie or whatever her name is, because they're a million cosplays of her or whatever.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Cleavage?
Cleavage Clown. Yeah.
Tiny Tina and 2 was bombastic and remembered by some unfavorably, which fair, but yeah, there's things I remember. I remember there's a weird Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles parody quest in Borderlands 2. Anyone else remember that? No, just me. Okay.
Grub, we'll talk about it when we get to the spoiler cast, but I didn't piece it together in my head that they were trying to go for a Guardians of the Galaxy until you said that Kate Blanchett was the Star-Lord.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're going for. That was definitely the pitch.
Oh wow.
Because as someone that loves the Guardians movies and that game, Jesus Christ.
How long ago did they pitch this thing?
Oh, this
Well,
remember
it
it was
finished filming forever ago.
post-production hell for like 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah, that tracks. This none of this, like, you can tell it's a bad movie just from that information alone.
Yes.
Basically.
Has anything that came out to like that was trying to be like Guardians of the Galaxy actually work?
I mean, it is Guardians of the Galaxy, so it doesn't count, but that Guardians of the Galaxy game was clearly
Yeah.
trying to
It was
echo the
pretty good.
movie, and it
Yeah.
succeeded at that.
I liked
so.
that one.
The
Yeah.
only thing that was able to do it was Guardians of
Guardians
the
of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy,
yeah.
Right. Good luck,
Yeah.
Concord.
Yeah. It does almost feel a little like Guardians of the Galaxy is now like it's such a specific, like, dated, like, inspiration, because now people
Yeah.
are trying to be Suicide Squad. That's
Oh,
the
God.
updated, like, edgier, cooler version.
And that's going great. That's
Mhm.
going
Yeah,
great.
it's worked really well for everyone who's tried to emulate that too. Like, I think basically the thing we should all take away from this is maybe just do your own thing.
Just do your
Uh-huh.
own thing.
Yeah,
It's
just do your
all
own
right.
thing.
All
trying to say
right,
that
I'll
D&D
stop trying to
movie.
turn the website into
Oh.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That D&D movie did do that, and it succeeded, and it's really good.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
There's-
that
I
like
D&D,
that.
but that D&D movie was primarily just being faithful to, like, a real D&D campaign.
You're right. You're
above
right.
all
And honestly,
else.
I think that's you're right. It's coincidence because that Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy has that same vibe because they're just being playful, but they were not. One didn't come after the other. You're right.
Was the newer Jumanjis, are those kind of Guardians of the
The-
Galaxy?
A little bit, yeah.
Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it's not like I like that Jumanji movie. It's not like I'm watching it and I'm like, this really brings me back to that
That's
Robin
more
Williams
almost
Jumanji
of
movie.
an isekai, I'd say.
It isn't. It's definitely an isekai.
It's definitely, yeah, absolutely
It's
an isekai.
classically an isekai.
There we go, Grub. We got it. We
We
identified
found
one.
one. Woo! Eat shit, Sean.
In many ways, Trap is an isekai.
What's that?
I've not seen
Don't
that.
say anything. I really want to see it. I really
won't
want to
say
see it.
anything.
I really
It's
want to
really
see
good.
it.
It's the new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I fucking
I think it's
watched
like-
no, it's
Borderlands
another one.
instead of that.
Is it? Yeah, I know. I was like,
Wow.
I haven't seen Twisters, and I'm like, I could just go
Twisters
into there
is
now.
good.
I know. I would love to watch.
In many
Twisters.
ways, Twisters is an isekai.
Shit. What?
I can make,
Okay.
I can make
Oh,
a genuine
you're-
argument for both of those movies
You're
being
mixing,
isekai.
you're mixing it up with Wizard of Oz because it also has tornadoes.
Okay.
Shoot, you're
Well,
right. That is what I did.
While we're on a quick movie tangent, I got suckered in to watching a Colleen Hoover adapted movie. It's called It Ends With Us.
Right.
I saw a trailer on Instagram. My partner dragged me to see it. The trailer on Instagram made it seem like it was a funny gal pal movie with love of my life Jenny Slate and Blake Lively, and then it turns out that no, it's about domestic violence.
Oh,
that
no.
movie- Didn't that movie make like
The-
$50 million?
yeah.
It's like crushed.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like a airport bestseller is the nicest thing I can say about
okay.
that book. And it has a very interesting moral lesson about the cycle of abuse. But yeah, the It That Ends With Us is the cycle of abuse. It's literally a movie about a battered woman.
And there's a second one
Oh,
in the
no.
works.
Yeah, she's a florist and her name is Flowers as well. So it's fun.
Oh,
Lily
I like
Bloom.
that.
Lily Bloom. Oh no.
All right. I'm gonna keep moving ahead here. Wait, is Trap the one where like they go to a Sting concert and then they get stuck
Not a Sting
inside?
Well, the concert is a Sting, but the performer is not Sting. The performer is M. Night Shyamalan's real life daughter. And she made
I
a
got confused.
banger of an album for this thing.
You
All
guys,
right.
It's good.
do you guys like the movie The Sting?
I love the Sting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Great flick.
That's the Paul Newman one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. My high school did that as the stage play, and my brother played the Irish bad guy in it, and he had an Irish accent. And we all were tickled like crazy watching him. Good job, AJ.
I
Very
watched that
proud
movie
of
like a
you.
year ago. That's really good.
Mike, you have to do
all right.
You have to do AJ's Irish accent.
Nick, can you do it?
Absolutely. You thought that before was bad? You thought that would get me in trouble? You don't want to hear me try to do an Irish accent. Absolutely not.
All right.
There,
It'll just be a bad Scrooge McDuck, and yes, I know he's Scottish.
Perfect. Multiple Halloween games are in the works. There's one that's a UE5 Unreal Engine 5 game that John Carpenter is contributing to, and there's also one from Way Forward where they're going to take the Halloween game and turn it, or Halloween movie and turn it into like a 16-bit platformer, like you would get movie tie-in games back on the Super Nintendo. They're going to do one of those, but for Halloween. They're also doing that with Ash versus Evil Dead. So wait for it, keeping busy. But hey, John Carpenter getting paid to make more Halloween stuff, and it's going to be a big Unreal Engine 5 game. That's always cool. What do you guys expect from like a horror movie tie-in game these days? Because I just assume that they're going to do one of those asymmetrical multiplayer games.
It's literally always that.
Grandpa's blood.
Grandpa's blood.
Yeah.
And they're never bad, is the thing. So
Right.
it's like, all right,
No.
fine.
I spent too much time in that Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Right.
fun.
You were
It was
addicted to
great.
Grandpa's blood. And there's like killer clowns from outer space. Didn't they add Dracula from Castlevania to Dead by Daylight
I think
recently?
I think they did. Yeah. They
Yeah,
have
it's
added a
everything
lot
in
of
there.
things.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
and
introduction
visually
of Chucky
scary.
was really stellar.
Joe
to be
Biden's in
honest.
there. Yeah.
You could have
Wow.
Nick Cage and Dracula from Castlevania in a game together.
Finally.
That's my Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go. Yeah,
Halloween hasn't had a game since the Atari 2600 in 1983. So
It's interesting because there's like a relatively well-known Friday the 13th in the Nightmare on Elm Street games for the NES. But
NES,
Halloween
yep.
didn't get one. Okay. Wow.
nope. All right. Red Dead Redemption coming to PC after 14 years, according to the store listing. We've heard this one before, but apparently there's a new store listing. A PlayStation Network listing this time suggests that the original Red Dead Redemption is coming to PC. The description on PSN for the game now includes a reference to a PC version. Rockstar has yet to confirm the PC release officially. The PC version will likely include Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare DLC as well. They did recently release Red Dead Redemption on Switch, and then a few months later there was a reference to Red Dead Redemption, I think, on the Rockstar launcher on PC, and people are like, well, it's coming anytime now, and it still hasn't. But now here's a new reference. I mean, if they've done the work, they're going to put it out. But any interest in replaying Red Dead Redemption on PC?
Oh yeah, I loved Red Dead Redemption 1 back when I played it on Xbox 360. That was like at the time it was kind of my favorite game of that generation. I haven't gone back to it since that first playthrough, so I'd be curious to do it again and see what I think. But I just remember that being a super memorable and kind of surprisingly touching experience. A lot of great moments. You know, it's funny because like GTA doesn't do a whole lot for me. I think Red Dead Redemption took itself just a bit more seriously, and that was kind of the difference for how much I got into it.
Yeah, you need serious entertainment. You're a
That's true.
serious man.
I'm
Yep.
a
You're a
serious
cowboy.
I
man.
always say this about you, yeah.
Yeah, on a steel horse I ride.
Yeah, and then last couple stories here. Warner Brothers is looking at licensing its IP to other game studios. I can't remember if we talked about this on last week's episode, that Warner Brothers is maybe once again looking at selling off some studios. In addition to that, publicly in an investor call, David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers and a very special boy, said that they are going to begin looking to take their IP and offer it to studios that are not under the Warner Brothers umbrella currently. They have like 11 teams. What they normally do is make their games internally. They're now going to go externally, which seems overdue. Like, well, I've talked about this a couple times, and it's like every time I read that, I'm like, why weren't you doing that already? No one else like does it entirely themselves. Why was Warner Brothers the last holdout on that stuff? So makes sense. I don't know, any Warner Brothers IPs you guys want to see done by any particular studios?
Yeah, I'd love if they just released Coyote versus Acme. I know that's not a game, but I'm still cheesed off about it.
David
They should
Zaslav
re-release The
will
Darkness.
hear you.
but
David
it's-
Zaslav, it's on site. I'm not even going to bother saying your name correctly.
Yeah.
Screw you, David Zaslav.
Re-release The Darkness, and instead of like having Wizard of Oz be that movie you can like watch all of on the couch, just have it be Acme versus Coyote or
Okay,
whatever.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we'll finally get that. They should make another Gremlins. That's them, right? Remember that good Gremlins game that Sunsoft
Oh,
made?
yeah.
like
Gremlins
that.
2 on
Yeah.
NES.
That'd be fun.
Get way forward to make a new Gremlins. There we go.
Prison Simulator: The Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Done. Let's go.
Yeah. They also, I don't know if they have the rights to this, but they distributed all of Christopher Nolan's movies. So I want a shooter based in the Tenet universe. I don't know how that would work. But give me that.
I'm always ready for a temporal pincer movement,
yeah,
Jeff
temporal
Grubb.
pincer movement. Yes,
I've already
exactly.
started, actually.
Uh-huh.
Just like,
You think-
maybe just like a puzzle game, an Inception puzzle game.
They sh-
Ooh.
They should do a Parappa the Rapper like, but with that new weird Joker sequel. It should just be
Okay,
scenes
that's
from the
actually a
movie.
really good idea. I
They
would love
should-
that, actually.
Yes, that would be amazing. Or like a Star Wars Connect. You remember that one?
Right,
I remember
yeah,
When
me
Han
too.
Solo
I'm
sings
Han
the song Solo.
Yep. But you're
I
dancing
like-
down the
I'm
I'm
stairs.
so
Everybody-
happy. The Carbonite's gone.
I thought everybody had a big stick up their ass over that at the time, to be honest.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like, how
Oh,
dare
they did. Oh, they
Star Wars.
did. But I
It
find
was
joy in
so
things, and I
bad.
thought it was great.
I was like, I think it's funny. I think they're in on the joke, everybody. Like, it's okay. It's the Star Wars Connect game. Let's all
God,
calm
that was
down.
like the early, like a canary in the coal mine for what Star Wars fans were going to be like for the next
Before-
15 years.
Before we had to endure capital B brand integrity.
Uh-huh.
Boo!
Yeah.
Make him dance.
Make him dance, damn it.
We will
Really
get
excited
to
for
Connect
that.
Games for Blight Club eventually, Wiesman. We will.
Did you all see the picture of Harrison Ford shaking hands with Mickey at the
Yeah, it's all I could think about.
It's good stuff.
Yep. Last story here. There's rumors that a Nintendo Direct is coming soon. Not for me.
Okay.
Rumors suggest that Nintendo might host a direct presentation this month or earlier than their typical September schedule. The source of the rumor is a Family Boards poster named Piranha Plant Brazil, who hints at a potential direct focused on a single game like Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Super Mario Party Jamboree, or Mario and Luigi Brothership. While Nintendo has several upcoming first-party games and an anticipated successor to the Nintendo Switch with the Switch 2, an official announcement for the new console is expected before the end of 2024. So I think the thinking from some people is they might do a direct earlier to talk about one of these games because maybe some announcement for the Switch 2 is coming, which we know it's coming. They've said it's coming before the end of the fiscal year, which is in March. But I don't know. I get the sense it probably we'll get the initial trailer announcement this year still. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, we already had that kind of that new trailer just randomly drop for Echoes of Wisdom, and I don't know, that kind of seems to be doing the job there. I could
Yeah.
see maybe like a 15-minute direct or even like a 10-minute one on Brothership being a thing. Definitely not anything more substantial than that, and definitely not Switch 2 news already. I can't imagine getting that in August or even September, maybe September.
This is the real reason I put the story here in the first place. When does everyone think we will hear about the Switch 2? Because I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear about it until December.
Yeah,
And of course
later.
of course it could get into 2025 before they even talk about it. But I think they will talk about it this year. But I think it'll be December.
You think so? I was thinking maybe they would do it around either September or November specifically, but Nintendo's really adamant about trying to sell those existing Switches.
Right, and they do have big games each of those months. So
Yeah. Do you think it would screw the pooch though, Grub, if they announce it in December and there goes a bunch of Switches that could be stocking stuffers?
I don't know. No,
I mean,
it's-
they're releasing that new Mario Party game in October. Mario Party Jamboree. I'm not going to pretend I don't know the title of it.
Sorry, we're actually going to take a dark month during October.
yeah, there it is. Yeah,
No, I have to beat Dan again.
you have to. We need someone to come in there. Well, he's not won in quite some time when we played these Mario Party and the Anime Party games.
But
So
it only counts when I do it.
of course, yes.
Fair.
Yeah, I think that if they were to announce it in December, listen, they got to start talking about it at some point. And so at a certain point, you are going to have to rip off the Band-Aid. And that will be after their biggest games for this year. And then it also is early enough that they can get some positive sentiment from investors leading into 2025. All those things sort of line up to suggest I think we probably do still hear about it this year.
Yeah,
We'll see, though.
Yeah,
I
but like
think you're probably right. They're just not going to release it for a while because they need those games to sell.
Yeah, I think, the thing could come out anytime after March 2025. But I think at this point, I'm expecting holiday next year. I don't know.
See, I don't know. I don't necessarily. It could very easily, but I think that they're going to want it out sooner or later. I mean, look, we are seeing a drop off, right?
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse when, we have Donkey Kong and Metroid, but next year is going to be even sparser than now. When we're getting good games, but it's niche stuff like the Turbo Championship or stuff that's like, oh, this I guess like Luigi's Mansion 2.
If Mario is ready for the Switch 2,
Yes,
they'll
that's
release
the
it.
big thing.
They'll release it. I think they're just waiting for that game to be as good as it possibly can be. And if it's ready, they'll release the Switch 2. And if that's in March or April, or if it's the holiday, that's when they'll do it. So
That's right.
we'll see.
I think the way we maybe hear about Switch 2 like earlier, like in October, is if they're announcing that at the same time they're announcing a price cut for the older Switch 1 models. because that'll help push those throughout the rest of the holiday season, anyways. It's something like, they're expecting to sell so many Switches that I think might actually be on the table, even though price cuts has kind of been a concept Nintendo's been allergic to for a while.
It'll be stealth price cut. It'll be bundled with a game, right?
Yeah.
It'll be different, like newer games and without the price increase because the game's in there. So
Mario bundle, here's 3 Mario games. The Zelda bundle, here's 3
exactly.
Zelda games.
Yes,
Here's
they'll get aggressive.
Of Super Mario Party Jamboree, give the other 2 to your friends.
There you go.
Hey, this is fucked up. Why does Super Mario Party Jamboree support 20 players?
Yeah, we did see that,
us.
and because it's a jamboree. That's what a jamboree is. It's
hold on.
20
Yeah.
people.
Jamboree.
Yeah.
Jamboree. Oh, that would have been a better one.
Jamboree. Oh my god.
No, I don't want to celebrate my birthday with this.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yep, here we go. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it is Danbury works
Oh,
pretty good
no.
too.
No,
We
but like,
went-
that's
Oh, you guys have
that's
a lot
two
of
letters.
rhyming names.
Dan Bailey.
Dan Bailey.
I see what you're going for. It's
No.
like it is just
I
their
think
names
it's a bit
though.
of a stretch. It is just their
That's
names.
not
Yeah.
working. Sorry.
All right, that's all the headlines I have. I'm done with the news. I am handing the show back over to Jan, who I think is writing down to see if we have 20 people.
Do we know 20 people?
I don't know if we know 20 people.
How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're at like
How many
10?
is it?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay. Well,
No,
then
11.
12
we
feels
bring in some
good.
friends and we
Nasty
fill it out.
Boys.
Yeah, the Nasty Boys.
Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. Heim, Vitelli.
Can we change the name of the Nasty Boys to the Koopa Kids? Because they all just like are different Koopa Kids. Okay,
they're the
right.
Nasty Boys.
They're the Nasty Boys.
Can't go back.
We are the boys.
God.
Dan's right. Mike balking at this an hour after fucking Mike Manatai or whatever the fuck you said.
Like my tie would have been
Ma-
better.
yeah.
Like my tie.
Yeah.
Mike
Manaitai.
My tie. Mike
Mike,
my tie.
Manaitai. All right, folks, we're gonna fade to black. We're gonna cool off. And we'll be back with email.
Emails.
Emails.
When I make my name, hide my face. What will I take? Straight tag with a snake. Can't rattle and hiss while I spray my escape. Sticky shit on the lip while I dry my pain. You feel to the tune while I move on the move. Getting tuned when my goons coming soon. Do a spot, you know who I'm out the tune. Cameras got a zoom zoom while I bubble up alone. I'm a rapper like the boom. You feel to the tune while I move on the move. Getting tuned when my goons coming soon. Do a spot, you know who I'm out the tune. Cameras got a zoom zoom while I bubble up alone. I'm a rapper like the boom. Slurs right off of the slurs like be mine. Sad boy. Blessed be the base, what the thing. I'm troubled up, double the drugs. Not enough, just enough. It's too much of love. That bubble sludge does wanna burst. You big mud.
These are the emails for the show. Emails
So
Yes,
Jan
sir.
wrote down 20 people, or got close to 20 people, for Super Mario Party Jamboree. And it's Dan, Bailey, Mike, Grubb, Nick, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to the end, and Bailey wrote, "One more woman."
I know at least another lady that lives in L.A.
gotta know
She's just
one
reminding
more.
you.
Abby. There. My
There you
dear
go.
Reminding
friend
you.
Abby.
There
There
you
we
go.
go. That's the only other lady I know in L.A. My cousin.
Yeah, all right. Family members count, sure.
He would not want. Okay, all right. Emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address. I know Susie. Yeah. Kamala Harris. Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
could get Kamala.
Kayla.
That would be an incredible
Right,
get.
that would
Oh
rule.
my God. That's Kamala, hit us up on the press tour. Dog.
What
Kamala,
Yeah.
you can't play as Waluigi. I'm gonna play as Waluigi.
I call Monty Mole because I'm the cute, adorable brown one.
Is Dry Bones in this one? Can I be Dry Bones?
Who's the most prosecutorial Mario character?
Easily
Kamek.
Mario himself.
Yeah, all right. Kamek's
Were there
good.
20?
Kamek's good though.
Thank you.
Who the fuck is going to be on the roster for this game? Anyway, emails.
Emails.
Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. You can send any and everything. I read every single thing, and I should stop saying this every email segment, but for the love of God, please stop signing us up for various things. There's something about flowers, and now there's one about underwear, and now there's one about fishing. And I can't take
Oh,
it.
I mentioned fishing. Thank you, everybody. Well, we should all go fishing.
Oh, I
Oh,
would
that'd be
love that.
fun.
Yeah,
I would
we
like to go fishing.
in Alaska after our Alaskan cruise
Oh, I love this.
for salmon.
Salmon.
Let's go salmon fishing in Alaska.
I went
With
crabbing. That was great. It's easy. It's very easy. Anyway, first email is about face turns. Hello, Giant Bomb crew. After watching Dan Reichert in his old footage from Game Informer, farting next to Ben Hansen's coffee mug got me thinking, who else has had a face turn in the gaming industry? Thanks for all you do, Tom P. from Florida.
We've had a lot of heel turns.
Yeah, a lot more heel turns, like the braid guy.
Yeah,
And,
Dennis Dyack. Yeah.
yeah. Was he ever a face?
Yeah,
I guess-
definitely.
Yeah,
Was a
right
full
after
heel,
Eternal
maybe.
Darkness, when I didn't know who he was, if you just told me
Yeah.
the guy who made Eternal Darkness, I guess I would have liked him.
Yeah, John Romero did a bit of a face turn. That's
You're
good.
right.
That's a good
Yeah, yeah. I didn't really know who he was when he was just the guy who made Doom and Quake. Like I didn't know. Then I only knew him because we were making jokes about him because of Daikatana, and now we're kind of over that.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's the Doom guy. So yeah, that's a
Yeah,
big
exactly. And like, he's been kind of kind and has just been like sort of like
Yeah.
working on his own projects and keeping to himself. And I don't know. That's different than what his persona was during the Doom days, which was rock star. I have 3 Ferraris or Lamborghinis, whatever it was, sort of personality that he tried to keep up for a long time.
Sean Murray's a good one. Everybody was really mad at him for a
That's
bit
good.
there.
Yeah.
Because of No Man's Sky and like, oh, he overpromised. Like, I guess, but it is his
And
job.
then he
to
just
sell
worked
the
harder on a game than anyone's
Yeah.
ever worked in the history of mankind. Yeah, and you kind of respect that.
game. So it's fine. I don't know if he ever really should have been a quote unquote heel, but people definitely were mad at him for a long time. So,
Right. He had heat for sure.
Got over it.
I don't think Dave Lang was ever a shoot heel, but
No.
Dave Lang's the best.
Yeah.
Dave Lang is like the Kevin Nash.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There we
Always kind of a tweener.
go. Next email comes from Gabe. Keep up the good work. Sent from my iPhone. Thanks, Gabe.
Thanks, Gabe.
Thank you, Gabe.
Thanks,
New
Gabe's
old-
iPhone.
From
Thanks,
Valve.
thanks.
Sorry, I said it was okay for The Verge to write about your super secret game that you haven't announced yet. We have to pretend we don't know it exists. We'll keep playing along.
Next email comes from Jared from Eureka. Hiya, Bombcast.
Hi.
Do you have a favorite or standout gaming magazine? If so, do you have a fond memory of a particular issue? Mine was the Tips and Tricks issue with the Chrono Cross cover and guide to get all the characters. Thanks, Jared from Eureka.
I think Jeff and I have the same answer. I think it's EGM, and I think it's specifically their big Dreamcast issue.
Yeah, that one definitely stuck out to me. I mean, that cover was so good. Yep, EGM and game players for me. EGM is definitely the number one.
Sure.
But there was definitely a game players. I can't remember what issue it was, but I remember like we were at McDonald's. Mac the Knight was like there was still a statue
Oh,
of
yeah.
him, and I was just reading the email section to my dad because all these people were writing in with like dumb questions, and Game Players was like the edgy magazine with an attitude, and so they would write really funny responses, and we were all cracking up, and I remember that pretty vividly. That was a good time. You know, I am becoming old enough now that I kind of can't help myself but be like, things were better in the good old days, but man, it was better in a lot of ways when we had magazines where people got paid real money to do this work. It's a real shame what's happened to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking burn GameSpot. Spot.
Yeah.
Spot.
Yeah.
Stop.
We burned GameSpot. We're going to hurt ourselves a little
Oh
bit.
shit!
Sorry. I was trying to read something.
Wow.
And then, yeah.
I can't believe you said something you shouldn't have.
Jan declaring war on one of his own limbs.
That's right. Never mind. I'm not going to say the things again. God, I remember GamePro very fondly. I loved the stupid review scale of the faces.
Yes.
For some reason, I did get to a point where I was like, I'm too mature for GamePro. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. I'm a big boy now. I have to read EGM.
I remember the God, what was it? I think April Fool's jokes were okay back in print media.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
How they are now.
Say it's really planned for them. Like you had to have that thing ready
They
to
were
go
elaborate.
a month in advance.
Yeah. EGM did like good ones. They had the famous, play as all the old Bond characters and GoldenEye, Sonic and Tails, and Smash Brothers. Melee.
Shenlong. They basically invented the
Shenlong.
April Fool's joke with that in video game coverage.
Uncarded, was that them or was that a parody thing? I can't remember. But yeah, they did a lot of good ones.
I remember buying an obscene amount of EGM and then figuring out that their office was in San Francisco, and I dragged my mom. It's like, hey, Mom, can we go somewhere? And she was like, why do you want to just stare at this building?
Magic.
Aw, baby Jan.
And then it was so cool because it was like 2 blocks away from my mom's office. So like I'd go downtown, visit my mom, and then I just like stand outside like, I'm going to work there one day. And it never happened. I did interview for an intern position, but then I got turned down. But hey, it worked out now.
That's why they closed.
That's why they closed. That's right.
I do remember the Ultra Game Players Wet and Wild Swimsuit Edition Massive Game Girl Pictorial begins page 20. That was
the cover art's so bad for this.
I did put it in chat, and it's actually that's the whole issue on Internet Archive, which is great for reading old magazines. It's fantastic. Some of these, I think it's one of them is the girl from Pandemonium, and it's like that's been stuck in my head
probably
for
from
forever.
Pandemonium 2 when they
Pandemonium
sexed her
2,
up.
yes, exactly. They sexed her
I
up.
remember this magazine cover. Man, I should have realized I was into women way earlier. Oh my god, it's really stuck in my brain.
Nikki? Did you get the
Blasto a 5.2? Blasphemous.
Well, listen.
You heard me.
Yeah,
I they're 8.7. That's fine.
I'm
that's a
gonna
good score
get
for that.
I'm gonna get really into Stardew Valley, and I'm going to make a swimsuit issue of Stardew Valley as a magazine.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Only on
Why-
John's
I know
Road.
it's
Artists
possible.
they might have beaten you to that, other people, but sure, you go ahead too.
I'll beat it first.
Can we stop talking about beating it on this podcast? My God.
I need-
Don't you have
Sean, I need that
jobs?
voice clip. I need that voice
Sean, get to work, bud.
All right. No, we're gonna skip this email about
what
Valvinus.
game is Sister Mary Lascivious from? Lascivious. How do you say
All
it?
right. God, we're just gonna keep going. This one comes from Mike from Loveland. Hello, Bombers. When Val Venus entered my life, his gimmick was having just emerged from the shower because he was very sexy.
Yeah.
Perhaps he had just recently had relations with the wife or girlfriend or whoever he was about to wrestle. But then a few years, they inverted their gimmick. He cut his long hair and joined a standards and practices themed stable of wrestling scolds called Right to Censor, who got squashed repeatedly by DX and the Dudley Boys. My question, what types of games would Shigeru Miyamoto make if he reversed his gimmick? Who are other devs or dev teams who you would love to see do the opposite of what they do now? Love the show. Love you all. Mike from Loveland.
So
they make like a Sam Barlow game, right?
yes, yeah, exactly. My Miyamoto's thing is all about like gameplay, controls, interactivity first, and then all that other shit is horse shit. I don't even want to look at it. So all story, like barely even touching anything in the game. Yeah,
like that or a David Cage game.
A David Cage game is a good one. Yeah.
Apparently, this character's from a game called Rogue Trip. Jeff.
Okay.
Sister Mary Lascivious. I don't know.
Lascivious, yeah.
All right, let's get through the rest of the emails here, going down to the very bottom. This one comes from Joe in Michigan. What's the difference between flavored sparkling water and zero sugar pop? They're both carbonated water, sweeteners, and flavoring. Why do so many people hate one and love the other? Much love, Joe in Michigan. P.S. Espresso, tonic, and Jumex is the best carbonated drink.
Huh. Okay. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, there's a lot more ingredients in like zero sugar pop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. And
There's so much salt.
Caffeine as well.
Very
Right.
true.
Caffeine and cold.
And the sparkling waters are mostly water. Like it's like, and honestly, pop is too, of course. I know like the vast majority of that is the number one
We're all
ingredient is water.
mostly water. We
And
have
it's like
that in common.
yeah.
It's the great unifier.
That's what makes me just like pop. Yeah.
That's why it's the way of water. That's why we're all
Come on,
connected.
Bailey. Come on, get on board. But sparkling water is basically just water with a tiny little bit of flavoring, and people like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whereas
man.
Diet Coke has aspartame, and I need that to function.
Oh yeah, that's a basic building block
have a
of
lot
life.
of aspartame guilt, Bailey? Because people definitely like my dad and other people are like, that's gonna kill you. And I'm not sure if I believe them or not, but I'm definitely scared and I feel bad.
I don't know if it's going to kill me. At this point, I feel like they would have figured out what it was going to do.
Yeah,
They say
listen.
cancer is what they say.
Yeah, if
but,
you have like
I'll
14
say that
a
about a lot
day.
of things.
Yeah, you have to have like 14 a day. Like you're fine.
It's fine. I'm not drinking
only have
14
10.
Diet Cokes most
You're
days.
fine then.
It's fine. I don't actually have 10 Diet Cokes. Everybody, calm down.
Yeah, if you drink like a fuck ton of water, you can also get sick that way too. All beverages is the same. If you have too much, it's bad for you. Spoiler alert.
How much water you
drink
actually-
normal?
I think people got real carried away about drinking water, and like I think started drinking maybe too much, and now they're having like bladder problems.
Yeah.
Like 'cause people like carrying around like a barrel, I would call it, like a Donkey Kong barrel of water. Like this is the amount of water I have to drink a day, and they would just keep drinking
This
it.
isn't the hill to die on, guys. Let people drink water.
Water's bad
I'm
for
saying
you.
people can no. People
Don't
should
drink
drink.
water.
People can drink.
I'm not saying anything, but I am saying that there is a chance that when Donald Trump gets on a stump tomorrow, he's going to say the same slur Mike said, and then he's going to start saying that water's killing people. So, Mike, maybe not this one.
I'm not
Maybe let's
saying
walk
no.
it
People
back.
should drink water, of course, but I think some people are like showing off with like how much water. Like your body tells you when you're thirsty. I don't think you need to keep drinking water when you're not even thirsty anymore because you think it's like, I don't know, greasing the joints
kind
or
of
something.
What, you deserve
Whole day.
sainthood because your drink tastes like nothing?
Look, I have a lot of shame about my
Congrats.
Donkey Kong barrel jug of water, Mike. I didn't know you were going to put me on blast like
No, you
this.
got
dude.
one of those. Of course you do. I bet you feel real good because you drank water.
No,
You're a
people
hero.
would only make fun of me when they saw it on our podcast, so I stopped using it.
Good. They were right to.
Water's pretty
All
good.
right.
Yeah, water's fine. You should drink water. I just think,
Drink water, like, when you want to, but don't make a big deal about
Now,
it.
to be
Dan's
fair, like,
calling me. We're getting a call from Dan Riker. Let's see what he has to say.
oh no,
All the way from London. Wow.
He's using
Hi,
his minutes.
hi, Dan. Why are you calling me?
Tommy's on the podcast, but he knows.
Yeah, you're on speakerphone.
What you just said about water is as dumb as anything I've ever fucking said.
Guys,
I'm glad he doesn't say more dumb. I'm glad he knows.
I think you're all bad listeners.
No, 'cause
Europeans
we-
don't drink as much water as we do, and they
They're in
seem
great
just as
shape.
healthy or healthier. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
Lexi
know.
told me
Wine.
to bring a water bottle to Gamescom because Europeans don't drink water, and I was like, I'll be fine without. It's good.
Yeah.
Thank you though. Don't need
am I
it. Got
gonna-
Diet Coke and
That's
a
because
beer,
they're
I
eating
guess.
well, says Nikki Grace in the chat, and that makes sense because water's in like a lot of the foods we eat too. So they're probably like eating healthier,
water's in lots
fresher
of things.
foods.
Yeah,
Am I
like
gonna-
with my cats, I have to trick them into drinking water because they just stick their stupid little paws in the bowl instead of actually drinking it. So I
Yeah,
give them
cats-
food with water in it.
Cats in nature get most of their water from killing animals and drinking their blood,
Am
like
I
vampires.
going to have to remind the team while we're in Gamescom to not only apply sunscreen, but now to drink water?
Yeah, you're the mom. You're gonna have to.
I want to put a stop to this right now. I did not say people shouldn't drink water. I'm saying that some people, not all people, not most people, but some people people out there, I think, are perhaps overdoing it and are like getting up 5 times a night to go pee as a result. Is all
Water
I'm
is
saying.
mid.
I basically only drink water at this point, and I have a much sturdier bladder than you, Mike Minotti.
Yes, that's true.
You talk about it constantly, how jealous you are of my very impressive bladder.
Yeah,
so I
what
don't
did
know.
we do? What we did? Oh, it was it SummerSlam? You just sat there the whole time, you had to pee.
Yeah.
And at the end, was like, I feel fine. I was furious at you.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It seems to be working out fine for me.
Oh, my tummy hurts.
It's a good show we do.
It's a great show. It's a great show. It legitimately is. And the last email is an update from last week. Bailey Myers, Mike, I don't believe you were. No, Mike, you were there. If someone built a human-sized microwave and you got $10,000 for every second you spent in there, how long would you go inside this human?
0. What is wrong with you? You'll get $10,000 if you explode like a hamster. What are you fucking talking for? 10 grand?
Yeah.
All right.
We all said 0. We said maybe you would be fine after 1 second, but your eyeballs probably wouldn't be. So I guess you wouldn't be fine. Yeah, I don't know.
Someone says, mechanized in chat, you can survive 15 seconds. I looked it up.
That's what's 15 times 10? That's I could do this one. That's $150,000.
Oh my God. All right, let's go.
All right. That emailer writes back in, can't believe I went through all the trouble to make you guys a human-sized microwave, and none of you guys are going to go in for at least a second.
I wanted to. They all held me back. I'd be fine because of all the water I don't drink. So I wouldn't explode.
Yeah, what's the microwave gonna boil? You know, we're good.
Albert Kane is immune to microwaves.
And I don't trust this source. I'm sorry, mechanized in chat, but it's kind of like when online someone tells you exactly what human flesh tastes like, and you're like, I don't know how you know that, but I don't trust you.
Bailey, is that a thing you're seeing online a lot?
I've seen it. I've seen it like once or twice where someone says with authority what human flesh tastes like, and I'm just like, I don't trust you. I don't trust this source. I inherently don't trust this source because of the information they're telling me. They are not trustworthy.
You think Dan would eat it if we got him something that like is a synthetic human flesh flavored thing?
If it was flavored, maybe.
I mean, I'm not suggesting we get him actual human flesh. Dan says no. Wow. I thought Dan was up for anything.
Wow, Dan.
And like the one thing he's definitely not for is anything involving like foods that aren't meat or cheese. Well, I guess it's meat. So yeah, what's his problem? Never mind.
Yeah, what's his problem? Yeah, maybe like one of those gross gimmicky jelly belly flavors. Oh wow. So you're a character from Harry Potter. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, folks, and that about does it for the emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. Perhaps next week I'll assemble all of the miscellaneous newsletters you fucking signed us up for, and then we'll just have a little fun with that.
Sign us up for all of the Save Muppet Vision petitions, please.
No, we're already signed up for like 3 different Disney newsletters that aren't official Disney related.
I did eat a salt flavored Jelly Belly once, and I can still remember the time I bit into that. Like, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
Oh my God.
So Jeff, remember how dehydrated I got when we were hanging around Cleveland and how I had the giant headache? So I got like the I don't know, electrolyte
I was fine. I was drinking water all
packets.
day, so.
I was drinking water all day too, but apparently not enough. So I got one of those electrolyte packets. I'm like, okay, next time I drink, I think I need to do this. I think this is how old I am now. What's that?
A liquid 4?
It was, I forget what it was called. It had a stupid name, but I got lemon lime flavors. I thought it'd be good, and I put in water, but it was kind of gross because it tastes a lot like the prep I have to do for my like colonoscopies. So that was kind of gross. But I'm scheduled for a new colonoscopy in January though, and I get to do the pills this time instead. I'm very excited about that.
Exciting.
Yeah. Like some people don't like the pills, and then I told my doctor, I'm very good at taking pills, and then I got worried that maybe my doctor thought I did a lot of drugs.
I don't think your doctor thought that.
I think I was wearing my Donald Duck shirt that day, so I was probably okay.
We speaking about exciting
I
things.
thought you were talking about Flintstone vitamins. I'm really good at taking these.
I am always thinking about the Flintstones.
Okay. Speaking about exciting things, we got an exciting week here at giantbomb.com. GamesCom. Game Miss Mornings popping off for the rest of the week. Voicemail Dump Truck on Thursday. Either tomorrow or Friday, we'll be playing Fortnite because my boy Cyclops is in there. We're taking applications for who wants to join the. Okay, there we go.
That's Colossus, but sorry.
Bailey raised her hand.
They added a minigun, and I've been exploding cars with it.
If I find a Cybertruck in that game, it's on site.
Oh,
baby.
absolutely.
Yep, of course.
I saw a Cybertruck when I was leaving Cleveland, Jeff. I finally saw one on the road.
In real life.
Right, right.
Okay.
And you were like, okay, and we had this conversation, right? Where it's like, if you see one in person, you'll feel differently because you aesthetically, nothing to do with Elon Musk or the company or whatever, but aesthetically, you're like, it's interesting, and you kind of liked it.
I don't. It was so shocking to see one. I don't know what I thought. It was
Okay.
it's like that moment in Jurassic Park where they see a dinosaur for the first time, but without maybe the wonder. But like in terms of the shock, I'm just like dinosaurs are bad. It's like, whoa, here's one of those fucking Cybertrucks just on like the Cleveland highway at 3 a.m. and it's just me and this car going down the highway. It was off-putting, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's right. That sounds right.
No Blight Club this week, but congratulations to Jeff Grubb for finishing
you.
Grub.
I really do feel lighter. I do
Yeah.
feel the weight of that game off my shoulders. Although I did like get a little hankering to like go and mess around with that game a little bit. And I don't know what that is. I need to look into that.
Maybe for Delight Club, we should check out the GBA version or the Game Boy
the
version.
GB
That's a good idea.
color version.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Do that. Maybe check out some other genre. I'm fine, Dan. No, I didn't actually play it, but I'm like, I'll go in there and see what it's like to have the fan patch or something. We'll do that. Maybe we can play some other John Romero games. Maybe play Doom plus Doom and Doom 2.
Yeah. Next week is going to be a slightly different week, folks, because 3 people on this call will be headed to Cologne, Germany for Gamescom. We'll be recording a Bombcast and a voicemail dump truck over there. And I promise you, don't worry, I will record footage that could fit into a travelogue, and then I will edit said footage in a timely manner. Get off my fucking back. Or else I every day I get closer to deleting all of the train vlog footage.
Wow.
Oh, shit. All right, everybody's
it's in
holding
a
it
folder.
hostage.
Poor
That's
Lori
right.
Beth.
God. Oh my God. That's
LB,
right.
it's going to be all right.
But speaking about the train vlog, which Tam, Lucy, and I took to PAX West last year, we're also headed to PAX West.
Yep.
Not all of us, but the Blight boys for surezies and Tam and Lucy will be headed to Foggy Seattle,
Yeah,
Washington.
there's talks of a Blight Club panel, everybody. So we'll see exactly how everything goes down. But that's well, am I not supposed to say that? We got stuff in the works.
No. You can say it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I emphatically said I don't want to go to PAX West, but then I see all my friends are going to PAX West, and I'm like,
That's how it goes. Like, I'm real glad I'm not going to
Germany.
Germany, but then I want to be with all you guys and have fun.
Yeah, I'm going to Germany and PAX, and I have a feeling that after PAX, Mikey need to rest.
Yeah.
Mike Minotti, where can folks find you on the internet?
Go to GamesBeat, gamesbeat.com. Everybody, check out everything being written over there by the crew. All good stuff. I think I'm doing a new 90s Disney on Wednesday. We're actually going to talk about some reactions to the D23 stuff. Also, my older brother AJ was just at Disneyland with his family, so we'll hear a bit about his very recent trip there. So, yep, we'll be recording that Wednesday. Probably go up Thursday or Friday.
Bailey Myers, where can folks find you on the internet?
They can watch the newest Honest Game trailer, which just dropped about an hour ago for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. And they can also find me on Twitch, where I stream every day at Balian vs. Predator.
Folks, go watch the new Honest Game trailers, and I need you to just type a capital B. All right, just load the comment section with capital B's. All right,
Love
just
that.
do it. Do
For
it.
Bailey. I was like, what's the B for?
Oh my god.
For me.
It's not a slur. He doesn't care.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a slur. And folks, speaking about slurs, what did we learn today?
A lot.
We learned that Mike Minotti and Jeff Grubb are just Mike and Sully from Monsters, Inc. We also learned to reach out and touch the pod, folks. We learned also that the Bombcast is just the fat roll of podcasts. We also learned too much about slurs and how much we accidentally do start saying them. And it's okay. You can never get jantled as long as I, Jan, am with you. It's also on site for Dave Zaslav, baby. We're going to take you down. Give me the coyote. Sorry. We also learned that it's okay and it's also not okay to drink water. And we're going to learn soon what human flesh tastes like. And folks,
Awesome.
that
Depends how long you're in the microwave for.
That's right. That's been the Giant Bombcast. She's been Bailey. He's been Jeff Grubb. I've been Jan Ochoa. And we've been with Mike Minotti. Folks, we'll see you next week in Germany. I'm taking any and all recommendations. I want to have fun. And hey, if you're going to be at Gamescom, say hi to the crew. Can't wait to see some friends. Can't wait to see Lexi. Can't wait to see Jordan Midler. And can't wait to see all of you next week.
Oh, they're going to have Civilization 7 there? I want to see that.
Oh,
Well,
me too.
I'll just tape it and then I'll show it to you.
Thanks, guys.
No worries, big dog. I'm
Tag.
panically trying to stop this. There we go.
Okay.
And then that's right. Oh God, I haven't learned shit. I don't know if I can navigate Germany, and it's gonna happen. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Giant Bombcast.
Giant Bomb on the road.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Tannenbaum. Oh, Tannenbaum.
Oh my God! I can't believe we made it through this whole podcast. We're still going without talking about the fucking U.S. men's basketball
Let's
team.
go! That was a
fucking
good
go.
couple of games.
Nice,
Steph Curry's pretty
nice,
good at
baby.
basketball.
God, I'm sorry. I'm letting my toxic show. It only shows when I play competitive sports with friends on the internet in Switch Sports and I watch basketball. I promise. Don't worry, folks.